Okay, Mr. Chair.
Are we on?
Yeah, you can start. It's recording.
Okay. All right, so welcome everyone to the Village of Mamaroneck Board of Architectural Review meeting. Being conducted virtually, obviously. I lost my train of thought. If there's any questions from the audience, you please bring them to our attention and we will accommodate you. I'll try to remember to ask for if there's any questions or comments. If I forget though, please don't be shy about making yourself known. And I guess with that, since we're virtual, there's not much else to do, but let's have a roll call of the board members.
Andy Wolowitz,
Athena Makish,
Cindy Lee,
Yvonne Levin.
And I'm William Binzer. So we have the full board here. So there is no issues with that. And moving on, I was not here for the last meeting, but the minutes have been prepared for that meeting. So I will ask if anybody has any comments on those minutes that have been circulated.
no.
No, not here.
All right, if not, could we get a motion to, okay, and a second of that?
Yep.
Any opposed? Okay, they are approved. And I think with that, we can then move on to the meetings. I think I should mention, by the way, that you're recording this, right, Will? So this will be-
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. All right. So the first issues are old business, I guess. And the first one would be 360 Mount Pleasant Avenue. But I understand we had an issue there with the sign, deficiency with the signage. And so I don't know if we want to, I mean, if we want to talk about it or if just postpone it and defer till the next meeting.
Mr.
Alright,
Chair,
you-
would you like to bring the applicant in if the applicant is on?
Yeah, I guess you can bring him in and we can discuss it if he wants.
If the applicant is for 360 Mount Pleasant Avenue is on, please raise your hand.
Good evening.
Good evening. Okay, were you able to hear me before or just now?
Nope, I was able to hear you before about are you referring to the posting or the
The
sign?
notice sign, yes.
Yeah.
I don't know if it blew down in the gale or what, but in any case, it was spent at least part of its life behind a bush, and as of
Hello,
yesterday was still behind a bush. I guess today.
can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
we can.
Yep, Nick, I can turn it over to you if you'd like.
Okay, now we can't hear Nick.
Nick, can you hear us?
Hello? Can anybody hear me?
Yes, we can
Yes.
hear you.
Yeah.
All right, for some reason volume's very low. I can barely hear you guys.
Well, I think that's going to be on your side because I think we're all hearing each other fine.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, anyway, Nick, the issue we're talking about is that the sign was not properly posted and a neighbor complained about it. It's deficient in two fashions. One is it was not posted as required, 2.5 feet off the ground. It had perhaps gotten blown off or something. It was behind a bush on the ground behind a car for a period of time. The neighbor complained about that, and we went and inspected ourselves. It was in fact still there a few days later. And secondly, it did not indicate the date of the time of the meeting, and the date and the time is required. And so given that we have neighbors complaining and that it was a deficient sign, we can't really hear you until it's been properly posted and noticed to the neighbors. So we're going to have to defer hearing it. If we're going to talk about it, we can, but we're not going to be able to vote on it tonight. So that's the.
Well, the
Yes,
problem was I was only made aware of it last night, and it was reinstalled, and the verbiage was per what was required.
Well, no, the verbiage is not what's required there. It says pretty clearly you've got to have the date and time, and there is no time.
Unbelievable.
So the content of the sign was incorrect.
The content of the sign was incorrect. It wasn't posted properly for the full time, and the neighbor complained. That's
Right. No, I mean, I think probably the weather was a little out of our control.
Exactly.
For
Yeah.
some of that, but even if it was posted throughout correctly, it sounds like it didn't even have the right information.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, it's something.
We had
something
printed
of a
what was
technicality,
required.
But it's a technicality, but rules are rules, and people, and if the neighbor's going to complain about it, you've got to fix it.
Would it be a valuable use of everyone's time if we reviewed the application or what we've submitted, even though you can't vote on it? Or we're in your hands.
Yeah, I mean, we can talk about it, I think, if you want, for a period of time. But again, we won't be able to vote on it. We could, give you some indication of our thinking, I suppose.
We would certainly appreciate that and take advantage of whatever time and consideration you could give to it.
Okay.
Do you have the submission or whatever it's called?
But the normal way this would work, if you can do it, is you guys would normally share your submission by sharing your screen with the submission on it. If you don't have it, I suppose one of us could.
No problem. Appreciate that. We can pull that up. Okay, so I can about to share my screen. So thanks again, and again, apologies for the inconvenience. We were with you guys maybe 2 meetings ago, and you guys gave us some great feedback that we took, and we've kind of revamped some of the thinking that we wanted to share with you. So we have kind of a couple of, I would call it layers, if you will, or versions of what we have envisioned for the exterior of the space. You can see right here that the vision here would be to have 2 awnings with some lights above them. We would be painting the exterior of the location, and the idea would also to continue to have some growth over the roof here and these bushes in front. Because I think there's some questions about, is this something that we had desired or was part of our vision, and wanted to confirm yes on that.
Mm-hmm.
So this would be sort of even like the most basic treatment to the exterior. Then we, and the next slide, we wanted you all to consider sort of some additional potential branding to the right of the facade. We had gotten some, I think, there's some lively discussion about, that element as part of the mix. And I think there was some appreciation and support for sort of its creativity and things. So we wanted to bring that back as another potential element for the board to consider. And then lastly, I think this might have been also in the previous review, it might have been, I don't know if it was on the garage door, it might have been just a little to the left. And then lastly, the third piece would be what we're referring to as this sort of blade sign that would come out of the wall to just, again, create some signage for people that are, down the street in where there's a lot more foot traffic. And I would say that, this sign, because of the awnings, kind of for it to make sense or to have any value from a signage standpoint would have to be somewhat, a little lower than the awnings, as you can see from the sort of side view there. And that would be sort of the third element. And here's, again, some of how it looks at night.
Okay, how high up is the bottom of the blade sign?
Yep, and that should be, I don't know why that should be, is it in, maybe I have, is it in the, I apologize, is it in the file that you guys have or that was submitted?
I don't recall seeing it, but that's not definitive. It looked to me like in the stuff that was submitted that it was a little higher up because I remember thinking, gee, it looks like the awning's in the way. But now it's lower than it was.
Yeah, no, I think in our previous review with you, it may have been higher up, but we've had a, we just from.
Yeah, I was referring to the stuff that we had seen that had been sent over. That had the blade sign in it, had the dimensions of it, but I don't recall if it said what the height of it was above the ground.
I don't, for some, in this document that I have here, let me take a look to see if there's.
In the original, it was set at 10 foot above the ground.
Okay, and now? I think it needs to be 8 feet above the ground.
Well, the bottom of the bottom of the awnings are at 9 foot.
Okay, well, the sign, I believe, needs to be 8 foot clear.
Mm.
I'm not 100% sure of that, but I think that's what it is.
I think so too. I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I read. But
yeah. So,
Is it no less than 8 feet?
yeah,
Right.
it can't be,
It's
it
a
can't be
minimum.
lower than 8 feet, yeah. The bottom. In other words, an 8 foot tall person wouldn't bump his head walking under it.
mhm.
By putting it up higher at the 10-foot elevation, given the dimension out from the building, the awnings should not block it that much.
Okay, well, as long as it's above, I mean, I'm speaking for myself right now. I mean, as long as it's above the required minimum height of 8 feet. it's- And, now that it's within the 18 inches, it's,
Mhm.
it's fine. I think, and I think the awnings are
Yeah.
fine. I think the only thing that could be
Yeah.
controversial that I'd like to get everybody else's viewpoint on would be the logo thing. And the other thing I'll caution you is that even though we're reviewing this and we're not voting on it, the neighbor that complained, I think, has a point of view too. So you may be getting, next time you see us, there may be some other input. So just pointing that out. But anyway, what do you guys all think about this, the logo graphic?
I think it's acceptable to me.
Yeah.
The color, the orange is blue. If I-
Yes, a
is
dark
that
blue.
correct? It's a dark blue. And the light fixtures are black, correct?
I believe so.
All right, how about the blade sign? What is it?
That-
It's black as well, or
No, it's going to be the dark blue.
the same blue? Okay.
You're right. Right.
And the other logo right by the small
the door?
entrance? But
Yeah,
yeah,
that's black.
that's black. Okay. Okay. That's what I thought they were, but just wanted to confirm. Thanks.
I'm just curious, why is the logo black, but the other thing's blue? I would have thought you would have used a consistent color. Just curious. It's not so much an aesthetic question, it's just curious.
I don't think that was heard.
Okay.
It was,
I don't think that was
Gary.
heard.
oh,
I
Gary,
was,
would you comment on that?
Yeah, no, we will have all of this confirmed for the next meeting, all of the colors of each element.
okay, it seemed to me logical that if everything's
no, I-
navy blue, that would be navy blue too,
Agreed.
but. Okay, yeah, what do you guys think? Cindy, Athena, Andrew?
I think it looks nice and I appreciate that you all took our constructive advice and it's cleaned up a little bit from last
Yes.
time. I feel it's less busy and I really appreciate that. I think it looks pretty and I love the greenery.
Yeah.
And I will love it more when it is navy blue with the logo. I think it'll look clean and very nice.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm fine with it.
Okay. And
So we're
Athena?
not voting, so it's just,
yeah.
Right.
Can I
It's a
interject for
bittersweet-
one moment?
Sure.
I'm going over my paperwork from the village and they have, in bold letters, what the sign had to say,
Yeah.
but it did not say anything about a time on there.
No,
So we
I-
followed that.
Well, I don't know what the village gave you, but I can read you what the ordinance says if you want. I mean, but it does say time. I checked.
But it indicates the date. The date was not included on the sign.
And I just
think the date was.
I think the date was.
Via
Yeah,
email.
the date was definitely on there.
I think there was a date. I think
Yeah,
it was the
definitely.
other one that didn't have the date, Will.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that. Well, then if that was,
Here's what it says. It must say, I'll read you verbatim. Said sign shall be at least 30 inches by 20 inches inside, consist of a sturdy and serviceable material containing a white background with black letters, and shall read as follows in legible lettering at least 2 inches high. On this site, A, parentheses, describe action set forth in the application blank is proposed. This matter will be discussed at a Board of Architectural Review meeting on, parentheses, give date, at, give time, at, give location. So
And,
that's
and,
what the
and we
ordinance
have
says.
something dated October 27th from the village, which is a little different than what you're describing there. I mean, I followed what they sent us.
Mr. Chair, so
Yeah.
here's the situation. Staff, we had to amend it because of Zoom. So we've had to amend what the sign reads. So the
Ah.
sign reads, improvements are proposed at this site that are subject to approval by the Village of Mamaroneck Board of Architecture will be held via Zoom on, and then it gives a line for the date. And
Right.
then it gives you the dial-in number, the Zoom number, and so forth.
Correct. That's what we had.
All right. In this situation, the problem was that the neighbor called, you posted the sign on the, you posted the sign.
Before
You actually
the
had it on
9th.
the ground. Remember, if you remember, the sign was posted on, the sign was posted on the ground. And we spoke and I said, you have to post it in a place where it's visible.
And I
So at
changed
some
it. I
point-
put it on the garage door.
Fair enough. And then you
Right.
sent the affidavit of sign posting. No problem. Staff was
Right.
fine with that. The neighbor called yesterday, one of the neighbors, and she said the sign is on the ground. So it had to go, so somebody moved it back to the position that it was in.
That
and
was
you
me.
couldn't see it
As soon as I
because
found out about it. I did that yesterday. As soon as I got a call from the gentleman at the village, I went there and changed and reinstalled it back on the garage door.
Right.
So
But
as
before
soon
that,
as I
the
found
neighbor-
out about it, I changed, I reinstalled it.
Fair enough. The neighbor called about it, and she's the one who alerted me to the fact that the sign was on the ground and it was not in a visible location. So staff brought that to the board's attention, And the problem is the neighbor was not able to attend because of the fact that she didn't see what the date was and it was not in a visible location.
You know, that the problem with the weather was what caused the situation. And as soon as we heard about it, we remedied it.
I think,
could-
can I add something? Isn't it also the size of the panel? Isn't it supposed to be 3 by 4, 3 feet by 4 feet?
20 by 30.
It says
That's-
36
that got
by
changed too.
48,
I haven't seen-
and that's what we
No.
made it.
I haven't seen the
Well,
requirement.
I don't know, maybe Will might know better.
It says,
Um,
it says on the piece of paper right here that I have, it's 36
Right.
inches wide and 48 inches high.
So the
Yes.
document that we sent to the applicant does indicate the time, and I'm just looking at the size right now, but it does indicate the time.
It does indicate the size as Mr. Contreras is specifying. Again, we have to change the sign because of the language for Zoom.
So the sign sizing is indicated as 36 wide by 48 high.
Correct.
Yes.
That's a different sign than the ordinance too.
Right,
Yes, we had to change it because of Zoom. The ordinance, there was no,
Okay, well, that's fine. I haven't seen the revised requirement. But I would suggest that you change it again to put the time back on since,
fair enough.
Yeah, but
Wow.
as of right now, I mean, I was in
well, okay,
compliance.
yeah, well, as of right now, it was on the ground and when the neighbor complained, we went and checked, it was still on the ground.
I didn't know it was on the ground until yesterday when I was alerted to it.
Okay, but you know, whose responsibility is to make sure it's not on the ground?
So, just been listening to this. Thank you. I want to make sure I can understand and go back to my partners with the debrief. And it's basic, my understanding is actually the sign was, the content was done to specifications, but because it was blown from its location due to the weather and it was behind a bush or whatever for, do we know even how long it was? You know,
Well,
I have no idea.
At least 2 or 3 days.
The sign was also missing the complete time of the meeting.
Well, that was what.
That's not a requirement any
that's not a
longer.
requirement.
Apparently, according to what Will is saying, he changed it was changed so that was not required in what was sent out, although I'm not
Well,
sure.
going forward, we will make sure that that's included in the deemed complete letter. So it will indicate the date and the time.
Sure.
That will no longer be an issue after this meeting.
So, the sign did reflect the content that was requested for it to be on it. But because the weather blew the sign out of location for a period of, what do we think? Is it several days?
I have no clue. All I know is that I got the phone call
Right.
that it was,
I know that the neighbor complained one day, we checked it the next day, so it was at least 2 days. Beyond that, I don't know.
Right, so 2 days or so because of the weather.
The gale was actually last week, so it could have been a longer period of time. You guys don't go on site on a regular
No,
basis?
we are on site 3 or 4 4 days a week.
Okay.
Isn't this an active business already?
yes, it is.
Right, so, I mean, people should have seen that the sign was down.
We make a call on this and either vote or not vote.
Well,
Yeah,
We're not
I mean,
going
I
to vote.
think-
We said already, we're not going to vote.
All right, let's
Right,
move on
that's,
then.
I think we,
Thank you for your time and your feedback.
sure.
Okay, very good. Thanks. Okay. So next,
Just on a closing note, in regard to the signage itself, are we in a good position?
It sounds like we have, conditional support for everything that we've submitted. We're, if everything matches the requirements of the 8 inches and things like that, the bottom, that we're we're in a good spot.
8 feet. Yeah, I think you're in a pretty good spot. Again, there may be vociferous objection from neighbors that we'll have to hear them, so we can't say,
Fair
but,
point.
right.
Okay,
Just
you very
for
much.
point of clarity, staff will send a new deemed complete letter tomorrow to the applicant.
sure.
Very good.
Very good.
All right. Okay, so next is 308 Mamaroneck Avenue. Barbara, you look altogether too comfortable there.
Mr. William, how are you?
Very well, thank you.
This is Kevin.
Nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you. The one second. Okay.
So Bill, just a heads up, this came before the board for discussion in the last meeting. We discussed, gave feedback.
I read the minutes,
Okay, cool.
so I'm at least up to speed on that.
Yeah. As you see, we send it like 7-8 pages PDF file, and also me and Mr. William was messaging or emailing, and he asked some changes on it, which we did. And on the last meeting, I showed you the sign, the retractables. You asked me to change the colors on it, and there was this upside down logo that wasn't looking right. You were very right, and we changed it to the channel ladders, individual channel ladders, which is on the wall.
Are
Do
you
you
going to
have-
present it?
Do you have pictures or something to show us?
Okay. Okay, let me share the screen.
Athena, maybe you want to lead the discussion on this since just for continuity's sake?
Sure.
Thanks.
Once you have it up, we'll start.
I'm trying to share it with from my cell phone. How I do that?
All right, to keep us moving, I'm going to share.
Should be on
There
the
you go.
bottom screen, the bottom panel that says share screen.
Can you guys see my screen?
Yes,
Oh.
and kids too.
Yeah, it's right there.
We good? You can see it? All right. So
Can
is
you
it,
zoom it? Can you zoom in a little bit? There you go.
Yep.
Perfect.
all right, go ahead. It's up on the screen. You can walk us through.
Sure. There is two signs, the retractable. There were also the stripes on the skirt part where it says the Barkilla. You say that please change it to the the black color with the gold writing, which we did.
Mhm.
The retractables still have the black and the white stripe on the top, which is the part that it opens and closes. But the skirt part will be straight black with the gold writing on it. And there was a Barkilla and Barkilla on both retractables. We changed it to the Barkilla, and the next one is the second one is on the right is Tapas Cocktail Lounge.
Mhm.
The logo that you see on the screen, which we are not going to use that one. It was on the wall where the light is. By the way, that light is existing on that wall. We are not going to add that one. Underneath, we will have the channel ladders, individual channel ladders. if you want, we can do individual, or we can do a background on it, like a brick background, and we use the metal on the background. And on the next pages, you will see the dimensions, what the dimensions are, and what kind of screws that we are going to use. It is 15 feet long, those retractables, and the skirt is 8-inch high, and it will be 6.5-inch writing on it. And opening the project is 6 feet out. When we open it, it's going to be coming out 6 feet.
All right, cool. I think one of the questions we had was whether everything met code. It seemingly meets code because we're being presented with it. So let's open it up for discussion. Any feedback on what he's coming back with?
Well, I have one question on the dimensions, which is just sort of codey kind of a thing, I guess. But it says, how high is the lowest part of the awning above the ground?
If you go to the next page, I also gave you that information, which is on the paperwork.
Mm-hmm. And what does it say?
On the next page. Can we go to next page?
This is there's only 2 pages in this.
Okay, well, anyway, I think here's the part that confused me, just to cut through it. It says at some point that this sign, this vertical sign, the Barkila sign, is 6 feet high. And I think it says it's 30 inches off the ground.
No. The Barkula, the writing one, the Barkula, which is the channel ladders on the wall, is 30-inch from the bottom, from the ground. Correct.
And then the sign overall is 6 feet long, right?
Yes.
Tall, you mean?
No, the 6 feet is from letter B to letter A, end of to letter A. Yes.
So that's 6 feet. So my point is that the top of the B is 8.5 feet off the ground.
Yes.
All right. So something doesn't seem quite right here then, because the awning has to be at least 8 feet above the ground. My recollection is that this is a bit higher than 8 feet to this point.
That is 12 feet. 12 feet. That
which suggests that perhaps the Barkila sign is a little bit longer than 6 feet. I mean,
You mean taller? Bill, do you mean taller than 6 feet?
Yes.
Okay, just so it's not confusing.
Yeah. The sign is 6 feet tall and it's 2.5 feet off the ground, so it's 8.5 feet.
My guess is that awning does not also pitch down quite as much as it shows in the rendering.
That could be.
Right? Those things tend not to pitch down so much.
Yeah, I think from seeing the drawings on the measured drawings of the building, that the awning's 11 feet off the ground at its highest point. So I think that it's just perhaps the way that it's graphically rendered, that the Barkila, the sign is probably not to scale.
It is right there. The information is right here.
Yeah, I know, but you see what I'm saying. So I think that's 11 feet to where the awning is.
No.
You have to add it up, but I think
Isn't that just 9-1?
Well, there's 7-1 here plus 2-1, so that's 9-2 plus this spandrel piece.
1, 4, 6, and 3.
Well, it's not 12 feet, but
Yeah.
It was
I don't know that it even particularly matters. I mean, here's the point. The point is that the bottom of the awning, Kemal, is that Kemal?
Yes.
The bottom of the awning has to be at least 8 feet off the ground. So that's the important part.
The way
it's drawn in this rendering, it doesn't look like it does that.
Okay, the awning is from ground to that retractable that we are going to hang is 7 feet and 1 inch.
No, that
Plus-
would be, that would, first of all, that would be illegal.
So
but
I'm sorry,
second
I'm
of all,
sorry,
you're
I'm
not
sorry, I'm
counting
sorry.
the bottom.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry, 9 feet. It is 9 feet.
Okay, but now, you're not, go back to the other picture, could you, Athena? All right, you see where the top of the awning is? That's what you're measuring to, but you see how then it shows it coming down a lot at a steep angle.
Okay, that retractable has 2 handles. One is opens up and close the retractable, and the other handle is gives the angle. The angle could be arranged from 5 degree to 90 degree.
Okay, and what I'm telling you is that that part of the awning where it drops down and says Barkila or Tapas Cocktail Lounge has to be 8 feet off the ground. That's basically all I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so that's like 5. I mean,
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can fix
Right.
the angle on that one, and when we open, we are gonna make sure that it is gonna be 8 feet. And I can tell the designer tomorrow to change that angle, take that up.
Mhm. Okay. The other thing I'd ask everybody about
Mhm.
is the Barkila sign is illuminated channel letters fairly close to the ground. Does anybody have any
Mhm.
thoughts on that?
I'm not sure now the code, the signage, does it say anything?
I couldn't find
About-
anything. I don't think it
No.
anticipated vertical
Right.
signs. I mean, it has,
Yeah,
you know, it doesn't say how high
Right.
the sign has to be. So I don't think, so I think this would just be a, what do people think about it? Does it bother
If
them?
there-
Okay.
would it be any problem? I mean, any danger? I mean, people can actually reach that with their hand,
those
or
are-
kids, or.
Okay,
or-
those are
I'm
those
asking.
are 12 watt. It's not going to be 110. It's going to be 12 watt, and also they are the weather and waterproof.
Mhm.
mhm.
Okay,
No water can go in, and it will be installed by the electrician.
mhm. Okay.
Well, I mean, assuming that that's fine with code, I guess my only concern there, just sort of like the A lines up with the bottom of the window. But if anything, if you have anything in front of there, you're not going to see the A, right? Like, what are those blue things?
We need to ask this to the owner if they are going to put anything in front of it.
Right. I'm just saying is that, you know, it may benefit you for not making it quite so low, but otherwise, I think that's a big improvement over what was there before,
Yeah, it was pretty ugly.
Mhm,
you
mhm,
know?
mhm.
My
Um,
question, and I think you may have referenced it in the beginning. These are 8 individual letters, or the letters are on a backing that's then attached to the wall. Which one is it?
Okay, the last time when we talked, I gave you those 2 options, and you told me that you're going to check the code. We can do the both way. Doesn't matter for us. The Barkula, if we do the individual, there is going to be around like 20-25 holes on the wall. If we do with the back, there's going to be only 4 holes on the wall, and we'll send the electric line from the wall to the inside.
Which one are you presenting?
I am presenting without the back because it looks better.
Mhm.
mhm.
I would just wonder, Kevin,
Yes.
what about the size? Isn't it, I mean, the whole purpose is that people across the street see it, or could it be a little bit smaller, like the size of the awning, or?
We are planning to make it a 11 inch each ladder height.
Uh-huh.
which is a very good size to see it.
So the purpose is to see from across the street or people driving the car or,
No, no, no. Those lights are not going to take the driver's eyes away.
Well, I don't know about that, but okay.
They are not like the laser ones. They are the LEDs.
right. Okay, so they are illuminated. So I guess the eye is going to go to that vertical sign
Yeah,
first.
definitely.
Yes. Okay.
Any other thoughts?
Well, I have to say that again, I think it is much cleaner coming back to us this time and having removed the Barquilla with the martini style glass. I'm glad to see the way it looks now. And I do like the individually channeled letters. I do think that looks cleaner than having it on a background.
Yeah, I like that too.
Mhm.
Individual floating kind of.
Yeah, I think it
effect.
looks better, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think it
That's
looks
better.
nice as well, and I think it looks nice without the backing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing I would wonder is what some people are wondering is about it being so low. And I mean, if you have outdoor dining, for example, you won't see the bottom half of the sign.
Mhm.
I mean, it looks nice, but I don't guess.
It is a lot different than the ones around, you know. It's
Yeah.
going to give some life to that place.
Yeah.
I think it's a tricky building ultimately on where you're gonna put a sign. I don't know that he has a lot of choices unless he goes super high, which
Right.
I don't think
Right.
would look well here either. I think for me, I'm okay moving forward. My only sort of asterisk would be that the Barquilla, assuming this is drawn correctly to size, I'm okay. If we start to get to a point where that Barquilla is off-centered significantly because it is not drawn to size, then I think that needs to be readdressed. But if we're assuming this is drawn to size and it is correct, then I think it's fine. I just worry if it starts to get off kilter with, you know, the A not matching up to the bottom or the B falling somewhere awkwardly. But if this is what it is, then great. It just, the beginning of this conversation made me a little hesitant to believe that this was drawn to scale, but I'm gonna believe it here.
Well, perhaps you could, what you're saying is you're comfortable so long as the A is not below the windowsill and the B is not above the spandrel.
Correct.
So we could just,
Right.
we can condition it on that.
Right, and it is 8 letters, of which are 11 inches each, which with an inch in between, that's like 8 feet. So I guess it just, since it goes, the B is,
Yeah, that was what I was getting.
it's just
at.
about right, but I would think a 10-inch letter and the A being, the lower A being a little higher might be better. But
That was where I was going before, Andrew. The scale
Yeah.
doesn't seem to be quite right.
yeah,
But so I think that the where Athena was going maybe is the best way to condition it. That
right.
is, we condition it on the A can't be below the windowsill and the B can't be above the spandrel.
There you go.
Yeah,
Okay.
that makes sense.
All right, we are going to do exactly how you're asking.
Okay.
I'll resize that one.
I'll make a motion on that.
A second.
1 second before you do that,
Oh.
Mr. Chair, would you like to
Alright.
hear
Oh,
from the
sorry.
public?
right.
Public.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
Sorry
Is there
about that.
any public people want to comment? Thank you. Well, we got carried away with our own
Problem?
machinations.
Is there anyone from the public that wishes to speak? Please raise your hand. Mr. Chair, it doesn't appear that anyone wishes to speak.
Okay, in that case, I guess we're good with conditioned on Athena's.
Yep.
Great.
What is the next step I need to do?
I'm going to leave that to Barbara to explain.
You have to submit 2 paper copies of what was approved,
Okay,
and then you'll eventually get your permit.
okay, all right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And Mr. William, you have my phone number. If you have any question, you can call me.
Yes, thank you. Just for clarity, who seconded the motion?
I seconded.
Cindy did.
Okay, thank you.
And we didn't actually vote yet. Any opposed? Okay, good to go. Thanks.
All right, thank you so much. Have a good day.
Bye now.
I mean, have a good night.
That too.
All right, take care. Bye.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
All right, next is 425 4th Street.
Hello?
Hello?
Hi, I'm
Hello.
sorry, my camera is not working properly. My name is Max Joya. I work for Vivint Solar, and I'm here to represent us for 425 4th Street.
Okay. Hello?
Hi,
Do you have materials you can share with us on the
I
screen?
sure do. Just let me share my screen here for a minute.
For what it's worth, I found in the past when my camera hasn't been working, it's because there's a little thing that slides over and covers the lens.
This one this is a computer I just got recently from work, and I think the lens has a crack in it, and that has something to do with it. But let me. Are you able to see my screen?
We are.
Yes.
Perfect. So this is 425 4th Street. This is a satellite view that we have on the bottom left here. The neighbor directly on the corner already has a solar system installed, and there's a good amount of trees in between the two houses. The panels are going directly on either side, left and right. So there are none on the front of the house. This electrical equipment is proposed to be going by the meter, and the conduit would be run through the attic, so it wouldn't be exposed on the roof in any way. So all we should have is these arrays on both sides. Both sides are also symmetrical. Now,
I had a Max, before you go on, I had a question on that last screen you were showing, just a quick question. The one before there. Why does it show 2 different kind of patterns on the panels?
So the system that we install is an AC system, meaning it's a microinverter system. There is no DC inverter on the side of the house. So this is the circuitry that we have for the panels. And what these represent are is one circuit, which is 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10 panels. And then a different circuit, which is these 6 on this side and these 3 on this side. The panels are all uniform and will all look the same.
Okay, well, that was my question. Do the panels look the same? Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
And if I keep going down, I have some more information about our racking system. Nothing visual, more for the engineers. And then I have the front of house pictures, or not just the front of house, but a few views of the house as well as the neighbor's house. So this would be the front, which there's nothing on the front of the house as it is. We have a side view showing to the right of the house. Well, if you're looking at the front of the house, this would be a view of the left, showing the neighbor's house as well as the street. This would be the other direction. And then we have directly across the street. as well as across the street on a side view, going towards the the right-hand side of the house if you're looking at it, as well as the backyard. Now, this backyard, this would be one side of the roof that's getting panels, which has the trees in between this house as well as the neighbor's house. And that's the neighbor that already has solar on their house. And if I'm going too fast and anybody wants me to stop, please just let me know. The other side of the house, which is, it's really hard to get a picture of because of, you can see here how the driveway is street level and the house is raised up. This is the other side of the roof that would be getting panels. So at this point, this picture is being taken from the edge of the driveway, which is level with the street. So this really isn't a visible area from any of the perspectives that I can see. And then if I keep going down, that's another front of house. This is the back of the house. And there's no panels on the back either. This is just another side view. This is the side of the house that faces to the right. If you're looking at, I'm sorry, to the left, if you're looking at the front of the house. And I just have a couple of extra pictures here, a little redundant.
Yeah.
But this is also,
I think we've got the idea there.
Sure.
Let's open it up for discussion. Does anybody have any comments at all on the?
What
proposal?
about, what's going to happen with that tree?
which tree? This one in the
Tree that's in the
background?
front, no, in the front of the property.
It's gonna stay there.
And that's, it's not going to impact your efficiency where it is?
I mean, the panels, I'm sure the efficiency could be better without the tree there.
Mhm.
But the customer likes having their tree and we don't, I mean, there's enough sun there to get enough energy out of the panels so that we do make some production out of them and the customer will get a benefit from them.
Mhm.
I'm sure we could get better production if we were to cut the tree down, but they would like to keep it.
Okay. I also have a technical question, very brief. The ones that are on the panels that are on the northwest, they're really going to have enough sun. I mean, I know it's not that pitched of a roof, but
Well, that's the beautiful thing about the AC microinverters that we use. So it's not a traditional system where you need to get enough DC voltage to turn on the inverter. Each panel has their own microinverters, so all they need is 12 volts from those panels, and they're producing power. So you could have a 325 watt module, and you could have enough sunlight to be getting maybe 18 to 20 watts. We're still going to get production out of that. So over the course of the whole day, we get a decent amount of production, especially when you think about the sunrise going, north to south, east to west on the southern horizon. Some panels are going to get more shade and some panels are going to get less shade at different times of the day. The AC microinverters that we use, they're Enphase IQ7 microinverters. They allow us to capture a little bit more production.
all right.
Anybody else have a question or comment?
No.
Not really.
Not really.
I
Okay.
mean, as solar panels go, I like the fact that there are a lot of trees around blocking and the neighbor has them. So, probably they're fine with them as well.
Yeah, they're not particularly visible, I think, from the street. The house
Right.
is up on a hill.
Mhm.
All right. Well, is there anyone attending who would have any comments? Bill?
Again, if there's anyone from the public who wishes to speak, please raise your hand. And Mr. Chair, it doesn't appear that anyone wishes to speak.
All right.
I motion.
I second.
Any
Good.
opposed?
I third, I'm good.
Okay, everybody's good with it. Okay, we got it. We got a third. All right. Okay, so next is 640 Wood Street.
How about 401?
401 got moved back because they have a
Oh.
very kind of an incomplete submission, so we moved it back so we don't take up everybody's time. I'm trying
Okay.
to sort it out.
Okay, sorry.
So 640 Wood Street.
640 Wood Street, please raise your hand.
This be Pamela and Alex?
No, there are,
Yeah, sorry, we heard 401.
Had an incomplete.
No, that we moved it
Okay,
back to the
sorry.
end because the submission's incomplete. We don't want to take up everybody's time while we figure it out, so we'll do that later.
Okay,
Who is this?
Should be Gregory and.
640 Wood Street.
It looks like Wood Street, but I don't see any person talking.
Yeah.
What's the address? Oh,
Glover.
It says
640
James
Wood Street.
Glover.
Yes, hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Great. Yes. Hi, my name is James Glover. I'm with Green Hybrid Energy Solutions. Thank you for, let me just turn my table here. That light might be bothering everyone. All right, so thank you for allowing us to present for 640 Wood Street. We are proposing to install for Mr. Fauci and Mrs. Fauci a 7.055 kW DC system that'll offset his entire usage. Everyone can see the proposed layout. The location is in the back of the house. There's Wood Street.
we don't see anything
Excuse
right
me,
now.
It went away. It was
Mr.
there and then it left.
Mr. Glover, yeah, we had seen the drawing on the screen, but now we're seeing you instead. So maybe you could share your screen again.
Let's,
Not that you're not adorable, but we probably should look at the screen.
I was at one time.
There you go.
All right, everybody's there now?
Yes, it's there.
Yes.
Okay, good. So this is the proposed location of the array. And it's in the back of the house. Everyone can see Wood Street.
Mhm.
There are houses left and right. I'm going to show you an overhead view as well.
Mhm.
100% on the back of the yard. They're a black matte finish monocrystalline panel that works very well with the roof, which is a pewter gray Firestone, GAF Firestone product. So they're actually very homogeneous to each other. Just to show you a couple of pictures. That's the front of the house, of which there will be no panels. I repeat, no panels on the front of the house.
Mhm.
Everything is going to be in the back, which I show you here. This is before, this is after. That's the neighbor to the right. So that's Mr. Fauci's house to the left. To the right is the one neighbor's house. To the left is the other neighbor's house. They will have no visibility. This is a picture from the back. Again, they'll have no visibility. lots of sun in the back of the yard. You know, it's a nice, clean install. Everything is in the back. Nothing will be visible. And I can go through the rest of the pictures, but it's not that complicated.
Yeah, this seems pretty straightforward.
Mhm.
Does anybody on the board have any particular questions or issues that they'd like to ask about or raise? Nobody?
Nope.
Okay.
No,
All right.
it's pretty
right.
straightforward. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Then any audience members that would like to comment or question?
Chair, it doesn't appear that anyone wishes to speak.
All right.
I'll
Motion.
motion and also commend the presenter on a nice, complete, clear application.
Thank you.
I'll second, that's fine.
Any opposed?
No.
All right, Mr. Glover, Mr. Fauci, you're good to go.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a great holidays, everyone.
You too.
Thank you. You
You
too.
too.
Safe. All right. Next is 1137 West Boston Post Road.
Mhm.
Hi, can you hear me?
We can?
Yes, hi.
Oh, hi, good evening. Brian Cullen from Gotham Signs and Graphics. Here to propose an illuminated a frontlit sign for between the buns. I'm just trying to share my screen here for a moment, if you bear with me. Can you guys see this?
I can only see the
Not
word
yet.
Brian Cullen.
Not yet.
Not yet, all right. Oh, here. That?
Yes.
Yep.
that's it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so this is for 1137 West Boston Post Road. You know, just a little bit down from where the high school is, across the street from like the Bank of America. This is the entire building. The proposed sign goes on the portion of the property that's to the left. It used to be a burger place. You know, the sign that we want to do is, you know, basically, you know, centered right over, you know, over the main window there. They want an internally illuminated push-through acrylic sign. So what they would like to do is include, and if you can see, they have two, you know, the name of the business, Between the Bun 3, Deli Cafe, you know, salad, coffee, hot food, juice bar. They would like to include these, you know, these little icons. It looks like it's a little, you know, burger and a juice, you know, glass of juice, because they're going to be a juice bar. You know, since, you know, I wasn't sure if this would be agreeable with the board, so I also have proposed, well, you know, that's what it would look like, you know, kind of close up. And it's a push-through acrylic sign. So basically, you know, it's an internally illuminated sign with LED lighting. So basically what happens is, and we've done a few of these in town for like Zofness and for Studio 50, where it's an aluminum face where the letters and the logo are routed out of the face, and an acrylic is pushed through those, you know, routed spaces, and the light is emitted only through those, you know, through the front and sides of the letters. The letters poke out by like 1/4 of an inch, you know, so you can see light coming out the front and side of the letters. So that's the only portion of the sign that would be illuminated, just the letters and the logo. So, you know, the particulars of the sign are noted here in the plans. So the first, you know, I guess option A or their preferred layout would be the one with the burger and the juice. In the event that was not agreeable to the board, I also have proposed, just, a more simple one, with the name of the company, the name of the business, Deli Cafe, and then, the line items underneath. And here's a closer look at that one as well.
Okay. All right, let me start with just a easy technical kind of question. What's the projection of the sign from the wall?
It's a, I believe a 3-inch cabinet and then with the letters, poking out another 1/4 of an inch through the face of that. So if you see the cross section down here, there's the cabinet, and then, the LED lighting in the back, and then push through acrylic letters on the face.
Okay. All right. Well, there's certainly some things to talk about. For a start, I'll just mention that this, you're supposed to have a maximum of 3 colors. You're even on your simple sign, I think you're at 4, because it looks like there's black outlining around the letters, which, maybe that'd be nitpicking, but I'm just pointing it out. You certainly get to more of them with the logos on. But I don't want to drive the whole conversation. So let me ask what other board members may think about your proposals.
Can we see the other sign, the one with the hamburger and juice to
Sure.
compare?
And here's how it would appear, kind of mocked up on the building there.
Right.
Can you explain the intention of being dividing all 4 of those facades rectangles versus being just in the light gray?
Just to kind of, we wanted to take full advantage of the most, the maximum height we're allowed is a 30-inch tall sign. So if we were to, I think it would just crowd the top of that window if we were to do it that way. If I recall correctly, the previous tenant had channel letters going across there that kind of skirted both the different colors there.
Actually, I'm looking, on Google Street, it's showing the old burger place. And not that you should be compared to that, but that's all in the light gray.
Oh, it was, okay, my mistake.
With part of their logo just touching the dividing line between the light and the dark gray.
Yeah, I was wondering the same. Yeah.
Well, I just, for visibility, if it sits up a little higher, that might be beneficial to them. And I just, if it were to sit in, only in the gray, I just think I don't know, it might crowd that window, sit too closely to it and leave too much kind of real estate above it. But again, that's kind of the way we look at it. Certainly whatever the board considers.
Andrew,
yes.
On the, I believe the other 2 businesses in this building are also defunct, but does that street view show, and I assume there's no signs for the other 2 businesses now, right? The Mac thing and the car thing?
Actually, the Mac Spires was also in the light gray. It just fit in there. I mean, I could turn my...
Here, I have that.
I'd be interested to see what the signage looked like before, if you've got it there.
Yeah, you can see the Mac Spires is just in the light gray.
Yeah,
And
it looks better.
And the burger place was basically where it says that 36 foot 10 inches.
Yeah.
It was
And the VIP place was also, I think, all in the gray.
Yeah, I think it will look better.
I
in
do
the
like
light
it.
gray.
I like it that way too.
Okay.
I think it would be stronger. I mean, unless it's too low, but shouldn't be too low. I don't think that's too low.
Oh, it could line up with the top when
Yeah,
the darker gray starts. At
May
least.
I ask if would your preference be for the sign to be centered to the extent possible between the darker gray and the top of the window? Or is it okay if we kind of go up towards the upper
I think
portion
you
of that?
probably
fan?
want to be closer to the top of the light gray, just for.
Yeah, that's what I would do. I would line up with that reveal channel whatever that is, yeah.
Okay.
And
And
I'm okay
that
with
gives you
you
more
centering it
height.
on the window. That's fine.
Mhm.
Okay, now we still got to talk though about options A and B here.
The
And
colors, all the colors.
yeah, and since I'm talking first, I'm going to be honest. I think that option A is way too busy.
Mhm.
I'm not too enamored with it. I think it looks much cleaner and nicer without the burger and juice on it.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah,
it
that-
actually looks attractive
Yeah.
without it, and it looks kind of ugly with
Yeah,
it, to be
I
honest.
agree. I agree with Bill. Yeah.
Well, yeah, they have a number of locations and they have those on some of their locations. So they had asked to see if it might be possible to have them here, but understood.
Well, yeah, and it's too many colors. I mean,
Mhm.
technically, I'm not, the black is questionable, but I think that kind of is probably okay. It's just an outline, but
Mhm.
I think
know,
so.
let's just hold it for the,
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay. Okay. So any other questions or comments from the board?
No?
Mm-mm.
No,
Okay, any comments or questions from the audience? Mr. Planner.
Chair, it doesn't appear that anyone wishes to speak.
Okay, so I guess then we're looking to see a motion to vote on it with the condition that it be within the light gray panel, aligned with the top of the light gray panel, and that it be the option B that you're showing without the icons on it. If I could get a motion.
I motion.
I second.
Mr. Chair, just for clarity, along with your motion, are you also placing the condition that they use 3 colors so that they're code compliant?
3 colors, but I'm willing to be okay with the thin black outline around the letters as a kind of a functional
Mhm.
thing, you know.
Right.
I don't think that's intended to be a design element so much as just a feature of how you make the sign. Okay,
Okay.
do we all vote? Yep.
and do we get motions? I might have missed it.
I thought we did.
We
We
did.
did.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I
gotta
I
get this back.
motion.
Okay, I'm
I
sorry.
I
motion.
second.
Okay, all right. Any opposed?
No.
Okay, very good then.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Happy Thanksgiving.
Bye-bye,
Thank
you
you.
too,
Same to
Brian.
you.
Okay. Then we are up to 443 Mamaroneck Avenue.
Right.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi,
Hello.
good evening. Hi, this is Brian from Working Science.
Hello.
And I'm proposing the anoning for 443 Mamaroneck Avenue.
Mhm.
And let me just see how I can share my screen. And 1 second. Yes. Yeah, this is the drawing that I provide the village. Can everybody see my screen?
Mhm.
Yes.
All right. Yeah, all the measurements, and I have this drawing that is to scale. It will go above that window next to the door. And this is side measurements, 18 inches, the projection, and the height is 30 inches with some graphics on the front.
Mhm. Okay, just for a start, I want to mention on the graphics on the front, you're not allowed to put a telephone number on the sign.
Okay, no telephone number there.
Yeah, so the telephone number has to come off. Just
Okay,
irrespective of anything else we do, no telephone number.
okay, no problem. Is there anything else that we should change?
Well, then we can discuss. It looks like, again, now we have technically 4 colors here. So I'll let, what do people think about this?
What's the, so, I mean, because
It's because
Because
the
the-
Mexican flag has 3 colors, I understand, but I'm just pointing it out.
I'm not bothered by that.
Yeah, it's 3 colors on a background. I mean, if it was
Yes.
3 colors on a wall, it would be okay. I'm just raising it. So I would like everybody to be aware of it and discuss it.
Yeah, I think if I might speak, the customer wanted the colors because it's like the Mexican flag colors, and he wanted it the green and the red letters. But we suggested to add the white just to lighten it a little bit. It's a little easier on the eye.
Yeah. All right. I mean, everybody is okay with that. I mean, I think we would treat it as 3 colors on a blue background. I mean, so, I mean, it's
Brian,
a
would you be,
sign.
Brian, would you be maintaining though the delivery and pickup and center that?
Yes, if I can keep that, then I will center the text on the awning.
Okay, the number, everything, the number and the delivery pickup, or?
Yes.
The number's gone.
The
Oh, you mean
the phone number? The
No,
phone
the
number.
phone
will
number
take-
is gone, I know, yeah, but how about the number of
The 443.
Yeah,
Needs
if we
to
can
go
keep
to-
that.
Yeah, you
Oh.
can keep that.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
I think what people were maybe asking, Brian, is does the 443 stay in the corner or does that move over to the center or what happens with it?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I think we will center everything. Or another option would be to leave the 443 on the left and delivery and pickup on the right corner. I don't know if like anybody has a suggestion.
No,
Could work?
I mean, I can
I think
provide
so.
I can provide a proof with both options, just before, just to.
I think it's probably okay either way.
Either way.
I maybe have a slight preference for the 443 on the left, delivery pickup on the right, but I don't feel strongly.
Okay, I'll let the customer
right.
know, and then we make a decision on that.
And it looks like, well, it looks like you have a more updated picture than what's on Google Maps, but Google Maps has for the nail salon and then Enzo's, the blue awning. Is this a blue that's gonna match that existing blue?
Yeah, I have the pictures here. Yeah, it's a similar color. I think this blue is a little lighter. The one for the one our awning that we're suggesting is a little lighter. This is more like a navy blue, so it would be a little different.
I'd like to see, because the buildings all kind of flow together. My
Right.
personal preference would be to see the awnings matching up as much as possible. I don't know what the rest of the board feels.
I agree,
I think it's a good point.
Also, because I think the bottom of the awning, Brian, it says 88 inches and it should be 8 feet.
Oh, to the bottom,
And
from the
yeah.
sidewalk.
Right. Yes. At least that's what it says. I know I saw the number that you mentioned somewhere in one of your drawings.
96. Okay, so we need to raise it to 88 feet to the bottom. Okay.
Right, and also, like Athena mentioned, maybe it would be nice if it kind of lines up with the orange awnings on the right, or there are some other awnings that are pretty close, right?
Let me see in pictures. If I may, lost it.
Yeah, we just saw some pictures.
Yeah.
Or no, I'm looking at pictures on the web. What am I saying?
I want to just.
Yeah, I just can't get to it because this thing is blocking.
Just to raise another point, somebody from the audience, I guess, is suggesting to consider that the awning should run across the door as well.
Oh, to make it longer. Yeah.
Somebody from the, I mean, maybe go back to the picture and see what people think. I'm just saw that somebody had asked that.
To extend it. Yeah, I think we made it with these dimensions just to follow the instructions that we were given by the village, and to keep it smaller. But yeah, so we can suggest that to the customer too. He may like that. The name will be bigger,
Yeah.
more visible. So we can.
Oh, I see.
Okay. And wouldn't it look good also if it lines up with the storefront the storefront frames? Or is there any issue that doesn't allow you to do so?
The storefront.
At least to the right. Yeah. Can you zoom in?
On this one or on the picture?
Well, yeah, this is also.
Uh-huh.
Now the photo shows the frame. Here is just one line. That's why.
See if I can.
If you can maybe go to the, yeah. I think it would be nice if it lines up with the frame on the right, and I also like the idea of covering the door if it's possible. If not, I was going to say also line up on both sides, right and left, with the frame, the storefront frames.
Oh, you mean like extend it to the frame of this window here and on the right there?
Yes.
Okay.
That's what.
What do you think of that as opposed to going across all the way to the door?
I think I like it to go across the door as well. I think it gives you more of a presence, and it's the main door.
Yeah, it looks a little. I think it looks a little nicer myself too.
What's going on with the other awning? It used to be a nail spa.
Yes, it was a nail spa.
And so that's no longer there?
I don't think so. I stopped by and I think the space is empty.
I see. Okay.
Yeah,
because I see, because that awning, it looks like it divided their door,
Yeah.
So like if you brought it all the way to the edge of the door to cover the door, then the next person's going to put theirs right up against it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So I'm just wondering about that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Actually, the other one, I think, judging by this picture here, I think it is the same. It's just above the side window.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
so it's
that's a point.
So it's similar. So if that's frame, I think still there, this will be different than that one, because that one it will clear the door. I think that's why the customer suggested to do it the same, just to keep it uniform.
And there's something to be said for that
Well,
too, as if they're both the same. Yeah. I don't know. What do people think?
Well, since it's the same, it's one building basically, right? It's symmetrical. And I wonder, I don't know now, I'm go back and forth between leaving the door then.
From the beginning, it looks best across the door, but if there's another building there and they did the same thing, as Andrew points out, then,
it's
maybe
going to be
it's better
crowded
with a rhythm and being, the same. So it's possibly, maybe it's best if it's the same size as the other one. Right now, though, it looks a little smaller than the other one, doesn't it?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah. Right. Even though it seems to be the same, but.
I think that other one
it's a little wider.
I think
It's
that other one
114.
actually goes over part of the door, to be honest.
Well, the other door is 4 inches
But
wider.
The
according to this
dimensions
drawing.
it's a little wider. Right.
Yeah.
We don't have a good picture of the other one now.
Tricky.
There's a bush in the way.
Yeah, there's also like the tents.
I'm looking on my version of Google Earth where it predates all the barriers up there, and I see that as you get down towards Hash and Ash and towards the corner where the Verizon store is, there's a lot of awnings that are separated only by about 6 inches or a foot.
Mhm.
So it's
Mm.
like it goes over the door, but it still leaves enough, a little bit of border if someone else wanted to come in over the door.
Mm.
Yeah, I see
So-
that.
Well, what is can you tell Andrew, the existing awning, how far does it go? Does it overlap?
Well, it's, I can't get a picture. Oh, wait a second, hold on. No, I guess it lines up with the edge of the door.
Okay. But because that's the thing too, if assuming the next person comes
Yeah.
in there, just uses that frame, I mean, maybe there's something to be said for keeping them the same.
Yeah, it lines up with just the edge of the door because there's a setback there
Yeah.
of the glass. Right, it's not, right, there's a setback. It's not like the doors are flush with the windows, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So it aligns with the windows. Looks like.
All right.
Looks like.
All right. So maybe, I don't know, maybe we should leave well enough alone and it's,
Yeah.
So Bill, I would actually argue since the space is vacant, this is our opportunity to make change in this area. And
okay,
have this
I'm
one
good with that too.
and have this one go across, and if and when another one comes in, the frame has to be changed and extended to match this one.
Fine. I would go with that too.
Yeah.
I would go either way. Maybe the customer has some, applicant has some thoughts on the matter.
Yeah, I mean, I will probably think that the customer will be happy with that because the name will be bigger, if we extend
Right.
it. I don't think that will be a problem. So I can, run that by him, and I will get back with the new proposal.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
we'll see you again next meeting.
Yes. So just to double check, the points that we discussed is like we're getting rid of a telephone number,
Mm-hmm.
and we either centering or dividing the delivery pickup and the 443. We're raising it to 8 feet from the sidewalk to the bottom of the awning, and we're discussing the extending over the door, and we're okay with that. Or, if he doesn't want to go with that, then we're okay. Also, we're keeping it up above the window, right next to the.
Yeah, probably okay either way. I mean, I think some people have, I think, a preference for extending it. Others are on the fence,
I agree with Athena.
Yeah.
Let's
Okay.
take the advantage to do it now.
All right, I'll talk to the customer, and then we discuss that in the next meeting then.
Sure.
And then also lining up the on the right, also the frame with the canopy.
Yeah, as long as you're going the whole length, you should go the whole length.
Yes.
Oh,
Right.
yeah, all the way,
Yes.
all the way to
Yes.
this side here. you mean?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
Yes.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, we'll talk about that then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Thank you very much, everyone. Have a good evening.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
okay. So.
Mr.
next-
Chair, before you move on, did you want to see if anyone from the public was here to speak about that application?
We could, somebody did have a comment, so perhaps I'd like to say more, but sure. They were not voting on it, but they could still comment if they wish, sure.
Anyone wish to speak? Mr. Chair, it doesn't appear anyone wishes to speak.
Okay. Yeah, somebody put a comment on the chat before. Let's see.
And I'll wait for Mr. Galeas to leave.
Mhm.
Can I just make a comment? It's really a question for the board.
Mhm.
Going back to the deli, what was it called? It was called between the buns.
Between the
Between the bun.
Three, yeah, looking at the signs that were previously on this building, and you shouldn't have to deal with that, but that building has all these rectangular shapes that are part of the architecture of the building.
Yeah.
And the previous signs, I think, were wise, which they were all free floating letters. And so it added curvature to the signage, right? And this sign was like another boring rectangle that was sort of
Yeah.
just didn't really do anything for the building. And, you know, I mean, that's the sign he picked. I wasn't going to say like, well, it's really boring. I don't think you should use it. You should go back and redo the whole thing. But was that within my purview, saying like, I think it's,
No,
I mean, the other business went, the other companies went out of business. So I shouldn't be saying like they had the right thing.
Yeah, yeah. That's
Right. Nobody ever stays in business there.
Yeah, there's nowhere to park.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the sign is, you know, kind of meets all of the requirements.
Right.
So that means, yeah, you can object, but that puts the standard, I think, higher, that it has to deter from the, you know, the surrounding properties values and things. And you know, that gets to be a little bit of a tough argument, particularly since there are no other surrounding businesses at the moment. Say.
Okay.
That'd be my view. I mean, I don't disagree
Yeah,
with you. I mean, there's a lot of signs I'd do differently, but I'm not wrong. But
that building already between the fenestration and then the panels this way, you know, which don't line up with the fenestration.
Right.
The other signs on the building were all free-form letters that had curvature, and it didn't, there wasn't discordance with the panels, you know, it worked fine.
I try to take comfort in the fact that at least it looks better than it did before they renovated it.
No, so, okay, move on. I don't want to take any more time.
All right, let's see, what are we up to? I think we are up to 860 Pirates Cove.
No, what about 730 Bradley?
That one we moved to the end as well because.
Also? Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
Amber has sent out new agendas along the way. You're not up to date on your agendas.
I saw the first one. I missed that one.
Also
Sorry.
an incomplete submission, so we don't want to waste everybody's time while we suss it out. So we just move them to the end. Okay, so 860 Pirates Cove.
Should be easy.
Are you able to hear me?
Yeah.
Hello.
we
Okay.
are.
Yes.
And we saw
Hello.
you briefly. And then briefly, there you are again.
So we are proposing to install Tesla's solar roof at the property. This entails removing the existing roof, which is a dark gray composite shingle roof. And we are going to install Tesla's solar glass. It's a black shingle that is solarized. This is the existing property, dark gray roof, composite shingles.
We're not seeing,
We
we're
don't
see
seeing
it.
you, not your screen.
We're not seeing anything.
Give me one moment. Oh, here we are. Sorry about that. So here, are you able to see now?
Yes, except
says
for it
Westport.
doesn't show any panels.
There are no drawings.
There are no panels on this. It is the.
No, I mean, we don't see a drawing. It just says solar roof V3 installation, Westport, Connecticut.
Yeah.
So there was a drawing in the submissions, or there was a rendering, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's not, she was just a screen sharing. Didn't, show it.
Right.
There it is. Okay, now we're.
So what you're seeing here, there's no panels on the roof. The entire roof is the solar system. We're replacing the existing roof that is this dark gray composite shingle and replacing it with the solar glass shingles. So it will be a new roof and the shingles themselves are solarized.
Mhm.
On our site
So it's-
plan here, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yep.
It's a complete new roof, the whole
Yes.
house. Okay.
Yes. So on the site plan, what you're seeing, these aren't panels. These are just identifying what panel, what shingles on the roof will have the solar in them. So the shingles that are solarized and non-solarized are indistinguishable. They will appear exactly the same, so you're not going to have any issues with appearance there. This is the existing roof. We don't have a rendering just because it would just be a black box kind of. Here's an example of what they do look like though, once installed. If that would be helpful for you to see.
Yeah, it's great. Wish
It
everybody.
looks great. I know.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
They
It's
look great.
Definitely the gold standard, right?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, we're very proud of this product.
And this is all to charge your car?
No, it'll charge your whole house.
I was kidding.
If you had to charge your whole car, I think there'd be less Teslas on the road, right?
Oh, this is terrific.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Show you some pictures of the surrounding houses if you'd like to see. They have a dark gray, almost black roof composite shingle here. We've got a few different architectural styles in this neighborhood. We've got this one. I'm not entirely sure of their roof surface here. We've got, again, another composite shingle here, and then we have a standing seam. It's like a dark tan, a taupe color. So we will, in a way, fit in with the neighborhood, but there won't be too much visual change since we're going from a dark gray roof to the black shingles.
I think that modern house has solar panels on the roof too. I think they.
I think we did that.
I think they came in front of us. With this.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just love it.
All right.
And they'll look like the home that in Westport that had the rendering, correct? That's
yes.
What
Yes,
the
this is-
overall look
That's a
will be.
photograph, I think.
Yeah, so this is an
photograph.
example of one of the installs that are local crew. So one of the same crews that would be installing this roof. This is just an example of their work. And this is a local job.
Yeah, I don't think that's a rendering, Cindy. I think that's actual.
No.
photograph.
Yeah, this is an actual photo. Yes.
Well, it was beautiful. Love it.
Okay. Well, it sounds like everybody's okay. Does anybody have any comments other than looks great?
Can I ask a question? Can I ask a question though, since we're looking at this and this is this is novel to us? You see that there's two different, slightly different colored shingles there. What's is the lighter color the solarized and the darker color the non-solarized right here?
I think
May more be the lighting. We do have, and I apologize for not having samples in front of you. The shingles side by side are identical. This may just be the lighting or the quality of the photo.
I think that not all the roof is covered with shingles here. I think there's some standing seam metal roofs there.
Oh, yes, there is on some of the details and the peaks and this overhang.
I think those are not shingled.
Right.
No, I know, but when you're looking at that other picture, just go back a second.
Yeah, I think.
And I'm not objecting. I'm not objecting, but you see there are two different colors there.
And here, I see what you mean. I do think that's more the photo. They are at this point, they are the same color.
Okay.
Does it look more like, does it feel like metal or slate stone?
So I think Andrew's referring to the modeling in the, that's what I thought he was saying too, but I think you're saying the shingles themselves have a little variation to them.
They are, they're textured glass shingles, so they're all slightly different in the sense that, you're going to get different variations with the texture, but the overall look and colors between the ones that are solarized and non-solarized are the same.
Okay, so textured glass.
Yes, it's glass.
I have a question just because this is one of the first times we're seeing this and I'm curious. Do you pre-cut the whole roof prior or are you cutting glass shingles to fit as you're installing?
They cut at the install to make sure they have the best fit.
Huh. So they're just totally like malleable. I mean, not malleable, but customizable.
Custom.
Yes, they do have special equipment to cut it. They're quite durable in the same sense, you can walk on them. You can, if you have to have a fireman on the roof, they can, hit into them and it's going to take them a little bit to cut into it, but they are durable in that sense. They do need special equipment to cut into them. They're about, say about a 1/4 inch thick.
Yeah, it's just as a matter of interest, I think it probably predates y'all, but this is the second one of these we've seen.
Oh, really? I haven't
I
seen.
remember seeing another one.
Yeah, maybe you were here then, yeah, but there was one
Yeah.
other one.
Oh, no, it's the first time for
In
me.
in Orienta,
That's
there
good.
was another one, right?
Yes, there was, yes. It
Yeah.
was, an Asian gentleman.
Well,
I totally remember it.
we'll be able to look at it. I'm pretty close to the house, so.
Yeah, it's very nice looking.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
I love it.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, anyway, moving along, any other comments or questions from the board?
No.
No,
How
no.
about from the audience?
Well, if not, I would like to motion.
Doesn't seem to
I
be-
second.
speak.
Were you saying something, Amber?
Oh.
Okay. Did somebody second?
Mhm.
Yvonne.
I
Yvonne
did.
second.
I
Okay.
did. A little rushed. into it.
Anybody opposed? Okay, very good. It looks great. Justine,
Great.
enjoy.
Thank you very
Justin.
much. Happy holidays all.
You too.
You too. Thanks.
Okay, next then now we'll go back to, let's see. 510
Uh-oh.
Clifton Pine, right? Pardon me?
What's
You sound like a frog, something. Something wrong with your mic or something.
That happened last time too at this point. I think it's like a post.
We must have overextended our welcome.
That happened last time, I think.
Yes, a little bit too. Yes, it did.
Oh, are you incommunicado there, Will? 519. Is that what you're trying to say? 319. 319. What?
This is 319 what?
I don't know what he's saying.
Oh,
I can't make out what he's saying.
Oh, it's 219 Union Avenue. 219 Union Avenue.
219.
We don't have a 219.
We don't have it. Right.
It's not on the agenda that I see.
Yes.
No.
That is an error on our part.
Is
That
it's supposed to be on the agenda?
Yes, he did the sign posting.
Uh-oh.
Oh, well, we don't know anything about it.
No. This is 84. This is the application for, hold on just a moment. That's the coffee,
The what?
the coffee,
No, he's solar panels.
We didn't get anything on that. Wasn't on Novus or anything. It's news to us. I mean, maybe it's coffee. I don't know I don't know anything about it.
Can you guys hear me? Yeah,
Yeah.
this is for solar, and you know, I'm on the agenda here. I do have a letter of completion saying that I'm on the agenda.
Okay, somehow it didn't make our copy of the agenda.
Okay, well, I can share my screen and I can start going over all the documentation which is provided.
Okay, I guess that's what we'll have to do.
What's the address?
219 Union Avenue. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, so this is a solar array at 219 Union Avenue. This is an aerial view of the proposed array that we're going to do here. This here would be the rendering from the street. This is we're using a 350 watt SunPower black on black module. And this is what it would look like from the base elevation. This roof section has panels on it as well, but you couldn't see anything from this roof section because of how high this roof is. Now this here is a picture from across the street looking at the subject property. They have this big tree in front of the house. This is down the street facing south. This is across the street facing west. This is the neighbor facing north up the street. And this is a picture from the roof facing the backyard and to the east. And that's a picture of the subject property from the backyard. And once again, this is the subject property from the driveway. Once again, here's the rendering. And we had you guys had mentioned last time, you guys wanted a little bit more information about panels and where they were located. So I just wanted to give you some more information on this, help educate you guys regarding solar access and regarding where panels are placed. So this program right here is called Aurora. Aurora determines based on the tilt of the roof and the azimuth, which is the angle facing south, how much solar access each panel will get on each roof section. So as I had mentioned, we're using a 350 watt module for this particular application. And if we go ahead and we look at this roof section here, this 350 watt module is producing 454 kilowatt hours over the course of the entire year. Okay. Now, if you were to take that same module and put it on the back of this house, which is the north facing side, that same 350 watt module will produce 200 kilowatt hours. And same goes here, where this roof section is producing, this 350 watt module is producing 448 kilowatt hours on this roof section versus the back roof section, which is producing 256 kilowatt hours. So that's why it's super important to, you know, where we're putting the modules when we are doing these solar projects. And, you know, it's bang for the buck for the homeowners. And
look, it's interesting that in the summer, they're relatively similar. It's only in the winter that it drops off, huh?
Yeah, well, so you got to understand, in the Northeast, in the winter time, the sun only goes 26 degrees in the sky. So it doesn't go, it basically hugs the horizon, and it you know, the sun rises at 7 a.m. and sets at 5 p.m. So, and only goes 26 degrees in the sky. So that's why southern facing exposure is the best, and you get the best solar access there. So this here, I was on last month's agenda, and this is basically the same type of module. This is what it'll end up looking like, the black on black. And this is the one that passed last month.
Okay, well, I appreciate that you're showing us that information. Does that program, just out of curiosity, does it take into account trees and things, or is that just?
Absolutely. So basically the program, Aurora, is what NYSERDA takes into account when they offer their rebate. So you basically go into the Aurora program and you go ahead and you map out the house, you put in the trees, and it spits out these production numbers. And that's the authority that NYSERDA takes regarding production. And you're part of your, you know, there's a couple of ways that people are getting compensated by going solar. One of them is a NYSERDA rebate, and your rebate amount is determined based upon your solar access.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted to ask, could you, since we kind of just sort of fell into this, could you, and it's a little backwards, could you introduce yourself?
My name is Daniel Vitro. I'm the owner of DMV Equity Inc. And I am representing the McKeague Descendants Trust for this home and this solar installation.
Okay. Thank you. And, okay, any questions or comments from the board?
Can we see the site plan again, or the any plan that you had? I mean,
Sure.
for the location of the
Yep.
panels?
Absolutely. Can you guys all see that?
Okay,
Yep.
so the street is to the right?
The street
Yes,
is
these are on the
over
front.
here. So there's a big tree that's in the front of the house over here.
Yeah,
And yeah, this is the
Ah,
street on this side.
okay, it's on the left then, all right.
Yep.
What, this is
okay,
what,
okay.
what's the, what is this address? 219 what?
219 Union
Union.
Avenue.
Union
I
Avenue.
guess I just don't see a house that looks like that. Oh, there it is. 219, that's interesting.
Mhm. And they
I
are
see,
black
so it's on,
panels?
so it's a,
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
so it's on the sides of the house.
Yes, it's going to be on this side of the house, which is
I see,
this
got it.
side is
Facing the driveway.
I see,
facing-
I understand it.
Facing
Okay,
the
got
driveway
it.
and facing.
Yeah, it
south.
looks like a street in the picture, but it's a big driveway.
Yeah, right, that
This
that
is
was
the street.
confusing.
This is the street and this is the driveway.
Got it. Okay, that was what was confusing.
The
Got it.
driveway is only slightly bigger than the street.
Well, because two
Mm.
driveways next to each
I
other.
know, I know.
Yeah.
Okay,
And they're black, no? Black panels
Yes.
on gray
Yep.
roof?
So this here is, remember, this was the one, this
Yes,
is the exact
I
same
remember.
panel. This was the one you guys
Ah,
passed last year. and
yes,
it's the
yes.
Last board, and this is, I
Uh-huh.
actually literally installed these today.
The same one. Oh,
Yep, and it's
okay.
the same panels. So black
Okay.
on black.
Yeah. Okay.
okay. Any further comments?
Mm-mm.
Anything from neighbors?
Mm.
Yeah, so Mr. Chair, I just want to just let you know that this was inadvertent. Staff meant to put them on the agenda, and it was inadvertent on staff's part.
Understood. It's okay.
Yeah.
We dealt with it.
Fair enough.
Fortunately, it was not, it
But
was
they
not,
did, just so you know, they did post the sign. They did post the sign in accordance with the rules and regulations.
okay, yeah, that's good to know.
Fair enough.
Any comments? There's no, I assume there's no comments from the attendees, right?
I think the property owner may want to say something. Let's see.
Okay. Is this Douglas? Did you want to say something?
Unmute.
There's
I
three
didn't really want to say anything. Thanks for your service, folks. And, we're just trying to put some panels up and get a little greener in the house. That's it. Thanks.
Yeah, no, I appreciated your consultant showing us how that program worked. No, that was informative. Thank you.
Great. Thanks. Bye.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, there being, I guess, no further comments, does anyone wish to make a motion?
Sure, I'll make a motion.
Second? Somebody?
I second.
Thank you. Okay. And anybody opposed? Okay, very good. All right, and that's that one. Okay, so let's go on then to 401 Rushmore.
Mhm.
Hi, can you hear me?
We can, but I
Yeah.
think we see Pam's picture, but your voice.
Great.
Okay.
Hi, how are you?
Hello.
Is this Mr. Sanziel? He's your architect?
No, Michael McCann.
Oh, okay. Give me a second. Let me bring him in.
Thank you. Let's see if I can. Great.
William, you're the phone?
Yes.
Okay, just checking security here, you know?
I think he might be on mute. Mike,
Mike is on mute.
sorry. Give him a minute. There we go.
That's my name.
Hi, Mike. We can hear you.
Okay. Can't see me though. Hello? You hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay.
We can't see you.
Can't see me. I don't know why.
I can share my screen if you want.
Yeah, we probably don't need to see you if we can see the pictures of the submission.
Don't know why you can't see me, but do you want me to go ahead with somewhat of a narrative?
Sure.
Yeah, let me preface it a little bit by saying that the reason this is a little difficult is that there aren't before and after pictures, so it's hard to see what it is that you're doing. I mean, I know what the house looks like. It's, you know, having for a long time lived across the street from it, but it's still, even so, difficult even for me to kind of visualize exactly what you're doing with not having the drawings for the before and after. So if you could particularly focus
Well,
on that.
there are pictures available exactly.
I know we saw the pictures, but they've been nice to have the drawings. But anyway, we have what we've got. So let's just
Well, on
that's hard to see.
On the front elevation, you can see the dotted lines to see the extent of the existing. And
Can I just ask one question? I'm sorry. So I actually downloaded the agenda before the meeting, and it did look like these prints that I'm sharing on my screen were not included in the agenda. So is it possible that you just didn't see these elevations?
No, we saw the elevations. What's not here is the prior elevations.
Okay.
The before. This is after, right? This is
It
included.
doesn't say existing, new. It
Right.
just said new.
Okay. So I don't know, Mike, if you want to explain.
Well, if you look at the front elevation on the upper right-hand corner with the garage door, where the roof is shown rendered a bit, that's it. And there's a line that says new construction, existing construction. So basically, that's our area of construction.
Maybe flip back and forth to can you show the picture too? So we could see what it looked like before.
This here.
Yeah.
Front elevation.
So here's the existing.
That's the existing, obviously.
And the new.
And this is the new front elevation.
Let me see if I can.
So you're moving it forward and going up.
Right. That area of the house will be is the area that's going to be changed.
Okay, and you're basically just tearing down everything from the right of the two-story structure and.
No, not really. The existing kitchen, which is behind this door here, is all staying. This area here is all staying. The garage is being pulled forward. It's not, and the area behind it is not being torn down. It's being turned into a family room with bedroom on top of it.
Do we have a survey so I can just see how this sits on the property?
Yep.
Alex, maybe that picture's sort of in the way. Maybe you could minimize that.
Sure.
Thanks.
Oh, I see that little picture is the survey. Got it. I missed that.
Right. Yeah, there was a zoning, but they have a zoning letter, so the zoning, you've been through zoning, yeah.
We went to zoning board and received the variance for the.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
So maybe, can we see this plan then? Because so you're keeping where it says new family room was there before.
Right, that was garage and laundry room before.
Oh, that was so you've added then this there's a dotted line, which is where the garage went to. And so you've basically pulled that out. Okay.
And we're going forward.
And you've also, those are interior walls you've moved in the back, I guess.
Right, so this is the existing laundry room here in the dashed.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is the garage interior.
Mm-hmm.
So we would pull the front of the garage to here and then add this wall in here to make a family room, because we're currently using our dining room as a family room.
Got it.
And the house isn't getting wider. It's just getting pulled towards the curb on the garage.
It's getting slightly wider.
It is getting wider. Where was the existing?
We're keeping this wall.
That's the existing house exterior
as
wall.
is. We're just adding this piece.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Mathena. I guess what I was saying is it's encroaching more on the setback, but
yes,
they have zoning is okay with it, and the other house is is kind of far in the streets in between. But that's what I was referring to, it getting wider.
Yep, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and then upstairs, what's happening?
So in plan, we currently have a bedroom at the top of the stairs. We have two bedrooms here. And this one is on the smaller side. So we would be removing it, moving the laundry room up to the second floor, turning it into a hallway and adding two bedrooms over the garage.
Okay.
If you want to just go to here. And then back to the elevation. So it does not extend all the way to the side wall like the first floor, but this would be those additional two bedrooms from here over.
Okay, what is that? It looks like there's some roofing material over the door between the garage and there. But I'm not kind of clear exactly what's happening there.
That's just shingled. I'll go back.
Maybe could I see the plan again, just real quick?
Yep. Yeah, sorry. Just moving a little slow. So that is this area here.
Okay, I got it.
So it's above the mudroom.
Okay.
But because this is an existing window, we wanted to keep that existing window.
Mhm. Okay. Okay, all right. If you could go back to the elevations now and talk about finishes and things.
Sure. So our intention is to keep the finishes the same to the existing. So we
Am I
currently,
correct that this house is sort of yellow stucco?
yeah, it's a yellow stucco.
You may know my, do you know my daughter, I think, Laura Hines?
Oh,
yes. We do. You live right across the street from us. Yes.
Mm.
I was just talking to her.
Mhm.
That's right. Bill, you spoke to my parents maybe
Pennsylvania.
a year or so ago, but they live in Pennsylvania.
Right, right. Yeah, about that.
Right. So yes, the intention is to keep the painted stucco the same. So it's
Big one. It's sorry,
I closed it when I minimized.
yeah, so right now it's yellow. We'll keep it yellow.
But yes, so we would keep it the same and match the same double sash windows. I think I don't know, yeah. Same asphalt shingles across the roof.
And I don't recall noticing that's a two-car garage. Are you doing a two-car garage with one door now? Is that what it was?
Right.
Okay.
It just, I think it looks better. We think it looks better aesthetically. Where is the, here we go. Now that the gable has been changed.
Mm-hmm.
But.
Okay. All right. Anybody else have any questions or comments?
The main entrance remains where it is. Well, no, I'm sorry, on the right. Actually, it's a secondary entrance through the mat room. Is it? No, all that is new, right? Can we look at the photo again, please?
Sure, the photo?
Yeah, please. The front. Yeah. Is that okay?
So that gets stepped forward as well.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, if you go to existing versus new,
okay,
you can see on the
sorry,
one.
I'm gonna go back to.
Yeah, so here's the existing mudroom, and the yellow
Yeah.
kind of like pushes forward.
So
Okay.
yeah.
Mm.
And none of the windows are changing, is that correct?
Um.
On the second floor?
Right, we're just adding new windows.
Yep, okay.
Well, and then the side of Thatcher's window, right? That one window. There's one window, sorry. Just technically. There's a window in this room here.
That's back facing, right?
It's demolished, yeah, so these are all new windows.
Mhm.
But other than that, yeah.
Mhm. Okay. All right.
You flip
Anything
back to
on
the
the-
elevation one more time? Just-
Yeah.
Okay. In the picture, there were shutters. Now there's not shutters, right?
Yeah, I think there's.
Yeah, these.
Shutters there, but there were shutters, yeah. There's not, okay.
I like this.
Yeah, but there's not, there were shutters, never mind, I'm just thinking aloud, really.
I like up here.
There's shutters in between the garage and the, yeah,
Oh.
Yeah, there.
yeah,
Mhm.
okay.
And is that, are you planning that that garage door has fenestration there across the top? It's windowed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, if you prefer one
Probably
way or the
haven't, probably
Yeah.
haven't picked that yet, right? Okay.
I think the preference is without, but if,
No, I'm just asking because it looks like there is, so that's why I was just asking.
Mhm.
no, that's a good, yeah, good question.
You know, because you have mullions on all the other windows, so I was just sort of wondering whether there was, you know, that sort of pattern was continuing across the garage door, or whether the garage door was some other treatment. You know, was it wood or something? I was just curious whether that's a major
Right.
feature you're planning. I was just curious.
I think it's similar to what we have. I like the white.
Okay,
Yeah,
very good. Just
yeah,
wondering.
just white panelized.
Okay.
So I'm good with everything that's presented. I want to take my board cap off for a second and put my resident hat on. As someone who has to drive and walk down Rushmore on a daily basis with the already approved renovations to the house across the street, I just would like to make sure it's noted that these two construction management teams work together. Otherwise, I think it's going to be quite dangerous because neither of you have quite long driveways. And as we experienced with Zafnis, they park on the other side and it blocks a lot of the already difficult walking from Oriented down to the end of Rushmore. So that's sort of my resident hat that you guys, if approved, work with the construction management companies to make this a safe project, because it has the potential of if you guys are doing it at the same time, being pretty tricky for residents around there.
Okay.
Yeah, good point.
Mhm.
Okay. Any other questions or comments from the board? Any questions or comments from the audience?
Nope.
I'd be impressed if somebody stuck around this long to comment on our project here, stayed up with us here.
Don't see any, Mr. Chair.
Okay, very good. Okay.
Actually, I have one other question. Going back to the facade over the garage door, were you planning any lighting or anything up there on that gable end?
Yeah, we currently have a motion dual spotlight,
right?
Floodlight for the driveway. Just the plan is to keep the same one.
Okay. Okay.
Has a camera on it. It's kind of nice.
Only works half the time.
Okay. Any other comments, questions? Pretty much.
No.
Okay, motion,
I'm good.
and I'll take that as a motion.
That's a
Second?
motion. That's like it's a motion. It's a motion.
Okay, seconded. Any opposed? Okay, very good. You're good to go then, Pam, Alex.
Great.
Good luck.
Okay.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, you too.
Bye.
You as well.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, Will, I had a question for you. If not, you guys can go. This is.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, please.
Yes, I see there's a question from Catherine Gutch in the audience. It says,
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
gonna bring her on next, if you don't mind, Mr. Chair. For some reason, we I don't know what happened. We had some kind of glitch with the Nova system, so it's been acting funny recently. So I don't know, but we'll bring them in and we can hear their application. We issued a deemed complete letter. They posted the sign, so they were good to go.
Okay, so they should be on the agenda, but again, they were dropped off for some reason as well. This 1233 Arlington Street.
Yes, correct.
Okay, so we should do that, and then we also have 510 Pine yet, right?
That's correct.
510 Pine and then 730 Bradley.
Oh, and 730 Bradley. Okay, so let's do 1233 Arlington, and then
I got confused. Where are we going now?
1233 Arlington.
Hi there. Arlington.
Everyone hear me all right? We have a few surprises tonight.
Actually, can we do
Sorry.
510? Can we do 510
I don't see
Pine
it.
first?
You want to do 510 first?
Yeah, why don't we do 510
Okay.
Pine?
510 what?
510 Pine. Oh, no, never mind. Do 1233 Arlington. I don't know. That's fine. Never mind. 1233 Arlington. That's fine.
Miss Catherine,
Are you
who's
sure?
your architect? Miss Catherine, who's your architect?
Liam Winters. But
Is he one with you?
no, he's not.
Okay, all right, go ahead, please.
Okay, and what are we doing here? Is this 1233?
Yeah,
Yes,
this is
1233, Mr. Chair.
Okay,
yeah, this is replacing a deck and extending it.
okay.
And so I can share screen here. Let's go. Let's see if this is pulling up the right one. Just let me know if I go over to the plans. No, hold on. Let me just move this around. You see that?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me just, sorry, I'm that over. So yeah, we are looking to replace our dumpy deck with a new deck. It might help to start with the photos of the house, just to get a better idea of what we're dealing with here. So this is the current deck, just kind of ugly bolted on there. And so what we're doing is extending that across the driveway. It will still not be visible from the front of the house and will look the same from Grant Terrace. So get out of my way, Zoom. And so, yeah, so I don't know if you have the elevation of the deck will be the same. It's really just that it's being extended.
Do you want to slide up to the plan view, which I think is above that?
Yeah.
Just so people see the property?
Sure.
There you go.
There we go.
So where was the deck now in the plan, and where is?
Yeah, so the deck currently is, well, it actually comes like halfway out of it over this window bay, and then comes over to here. So it would essentially be doubling the size of the deck. So I can go back to, let's see, one of these.
That was okay.
Show it. Okay. Here, I can go back to the plans, but. And it will be composite, but in ipe colored composite, as opposed to that poop brown color that somebody painted it.
Is that a technical word term?
Yeah, do you have the Pantone number for that?
Luckily, I do not. It will never be used again.
Can you show us the view from the elevation from Grand Terrace? Because it is behind the house, but it still is actually viewed sort of on its end from Grand, right?
Well,
Yeah, so
a little
So you
one
can-
story. I was looking at it here on Andrew on the Google, and there's a little one story kind of thing that sticks out and hides it.
Well, no. That's the thing is that it's. Oh, I see. Well, I guess that's the driveway. Oh, no. Well, you can go down that
So
street. They're on a
that's-
corner. They're on a corner.
Yeah.
No, there's trees though.
No, there isn't.
Yeah, well, there's here.
This is taking a picture from the other street, from the street.
Yeah.
So this
oh, you're
is
talking about the other
standing,
street.
and so this is standing in my neighbor's yard across the street on Grant
Right.
Terrace.
Oh, I
So
see,
that's
okay.
so that view will be the same. I mean, it's essentially
see.
going to end at the same place that it does now. If anything, it's just not going to stop in the middle of that window bay as it awkwardly does now. But that view, the elevation is going to be the same, and the view will be the same minus the poop brown.
In the picture, it looked like it was enclosed, partially enclosed below. Is that true?
Oh, yeah, there's like a weird, what Liam called a bunker underneath there. So that is going to be taken out, and then it will just be, let's see, it's like here. Yes, there's like a little concrete bunker situation that it was built on. We're not really sure why. So that will be removed, and then there'll just be like some lattice underneath. So it'll be more uniform and less doomsday.
But then will it be closer to the ground at that point? Or not really?
No, the
built up.
elevation. Yeah,
Will still be.
yes, the elevation will remain the same.
Okay.
So it's being extended over the garage, right?
Yeah, it's being
So
extended.
it'll be farther from Grant Terrace.
Yes, it'll be, yes,
Yeah,
but still not visible from the street because there's
because of
that
that
little
one story
side-
thing, yeah.
Yes, yeah, for that little side porch.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I missed what color you're going to be painting it now.
It's going to be a composite. All you can think about is a poop brown. So it's going to be a composite. It's going to be a composite material that's ipe colored. So I don't know if you can see that,
right.
but it's gonna be decking colored, but something a little bit more subtle.
Okay.
Okay.
Any other questions?
I have none.
Anything else on the board?
No.
Anything from the audience, Will?
Doesn't appear anyone wishes to speak, Mr. Chair.
I motion.
I second.
Any opposed?
No.
All right, good to go. Sorry about the confusion there.
That's okay. Thank you. Have a happy
Okay.
Thanksgiving,
Yeah,
everybody.
you too.
You too.
Stay safe.
Yeah.
Stay safe.
All right, thanks.
Okay, now we can do 510 Pine Street.
I'm just gonna stand up for a minute and walk out of the room. You guys continue. I'll be right back.
I understand, it's been a long time here.
I just need to, I've been on Zoom all freaking day. And I just need to stand once in a while.
Okay, go outside the back and have a good scream, come back, we'll wait for you.
Bill, I had to say, I didn't have this one at all. I didn't find it in the agenda. Where in the agenda
Yeah,
was
because
it?
what happened was,
I don't have it. I never saw it.
510 Pine?
yeah, what happened was.
No,
we had it-
1233
No,
Arlington.
it wasn't on the
Street.
agenda. This is another one that got dropped that didn't appear. There's
Yeah,
some-
so what
they
happened-
had
had
some,
seen it.
apparently some growing pains with Novus here.
Yeah.
Staff
Okay,
did.
but any of you got it? Or nobody
No,
got
no,
it?
none of us
Nobody,
had
none
it.
of us saw it. It was all, we were all cold.
Now we hid it from you, Yvonne.
I think we're all having growing pains
Yeah,
with the
I
new
thought so.
system, for sure.
I first found out about it because somebody posted a question saying, how come I'm not on the agenda?
Yeah.
Well,
So, we've been having an issue with Novus, and, we've had to call Novus numerous times to get them to work out a glitch or whatever. For whatever reason, we reached out to them. They didn't get back to us in time, and that's what happened. So again, staff apologizes.
Oh, no, we may have to go back to Athena.
I get real saucy after 10 p.m., so we may want to hurry this up.
Okay, we got 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So we're waiting for 510 Pine here to come now.
Can you hear me, Mr. Chairman?
Yeah.
We can.
Okay, thank you. I'm Bob Stenzel, architect representing Keisha Brescia of 510 Pine Street. I just want to start out by saying I'm been the renegade in the chat box with the comments, because I'm also the chair of the Municipal Arts Commission in New Rochelle, so we deal with signs and awnings, and I just couldn't resist on weighing in on some things, so I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Anyway.
we actually, took a comment, didn't we, about that?
Okay, good. Anyway, let's share the screen here, I guess. Okay, let's see what I have here. All right, so anyway, come on. I just can't get the hang of this. I really can't. Anyway. Okay.
There it is.
There it is. Okay, so 510 Pine Street, Keisha Brescia installed got an approval to install an in-ground swimming pool in 2016. And there were some changes that were made. They're seeking to get a CVO at this point, even though you can see the big bold letters, no deviations without prior approval. But anyway, in any case, they hit some rock and had to change the size of the pool itself. I'm going to go back to some, these are photos of the existing pool and adjoining property. There we go again. So really what changed was the shape of the pool itself. Try to bring that in itself. This outline here was the original approval, the shape of the pool itself, and this is the existing, obviously. There were some additional pavers installed, but they're all permeable pavers that were installed to absorb any stormwater runoff coming onto the surface itself.
In all fairness, there were like a lot of additional pavers installed.
Yes, there were quite a few, but again, permeable, hopefully. So that was the change. So we're just seeking a reapproval, I guess, from the board for the site plan for the existing pool location, so we can move forward with a CVO.
Just for clarity, it's an amendment, Mr. Chair.
So an amendment, right, an amendment, I understand, because they have to get a CO, been there, done that. Yeah, I have to admit it, when I saw this, it sent me to research these permeable pavers to see if they actually work, since you really paved the whole backyard there. It seems that they do, as far as I could tell.
They do. They worked very well. Yep.
That would have been my concern about all the paving. If is it just less more permeable than asphalt and less than dirt or something? But it seems like they're okay. So that was my concern, I guess. I don't know what anybody else's comments might be. I don't particularly care about the pool shape.
The pool actually is pulled further away from the property lines, if that's any concern. So
Yeah, actually, I think it looks better.
Yeah.
But yeah, and also the setbacks, right? Weren't they a little close before? But I mean, but particularly the rear.
I'm sorry, Ellen?
It's better in terms of setbacks.
Yes,
particularly
much
from
better.
the
Yes.
rear.
It's about 10 feet from the rear, further into the property, about 5 feet on the side, further into the property. So yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay.
Okay, now do you have some pictures that show it? I mean, the pictures are sort of like a little bleak. They don't kind of show the whole thing very well. I don't know. Do you have any good pictures of the whole yard there?
I think there's another.
Sort of on the left, that's the best one I have in the chair. So it's, yeah.
They're on Zillow if you want to see them.
On Zillow.
On Zillow. It's not for sale. I don't know.
At some point, it must have changed hands.
Okay.
It's a real cute house. I like this house.
It's nice. It's at a dead end street and, sort of sits by itself.
Okay. Well, any comments or any further comments or questions from the board? Ben?
This one is also the zoning is R5, right? Here it says the C2 in the agenda, but it's an R5.
It's an R5. Yes, correct.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Thank you.
I'm sorry, I missed it. Do they need the amendment? Like the official amendment?
Because they're selling it and it doesn't conform. So
Got
you can't get, the owners can't get title insurance.
Got it. Okay.
I mean,
Yeah, and what they did was they got an approval when they did not construct what was granted in the original approval by the board.
Got it.
Just for the record, they're not selling, they're refinancing. So.
Oh, as a refinancing. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. No, any
Okay.
questions or comments from the audience? Will? And guess not.
1 second, it doesn't appear so, Mr. Chair.
Okay, very good. Motion?
I motion.
I second.
Any opposed? Okay, good to go.
Right. Thank you very much. Have a nice Thanksgiving.
You too.
Yeah,
Thank you. You
Appreciate your
too.
time. Thank you. Take care.
All right, and I think unless there's some other surprises, 730 Bradley Street is the last one.
That's correct, Mr. Chair.
7:30. Okay. Yeah.
7:30, if you're in, would you raise your hand, please?
I see a V.
How's that?
Ah,
There we go.
okay.
Start the video. Thank you. Good
V for
evening,
Victor.
Yes,
V for
yes.
Victor. Read.
Very normal.
Good evening, Chair Vincent and members of the Village Architectural Review Board. My name is Victor Carosi. I'm a licensed professional engineer. I'm here this evening representing my
I
client.
can't, your voice is breaking up in a funny way. It's hard to hear.
I will try again. Can you hear me at all right now? Otherwise, I'll try to dial in on my phone, perhaps. I'm sorry, I don't have.
Yeah, perhaps if you dial in on your phone, you can look at the agenda. You should see the dial-in number.
I'm so sorry. I usually don't have problems with the voice. I apologize. It will dial in.
And then mute your computer.
Yes, yes, thank you. Sorry about this. I'm trying to dial in. Can you hear me okay?
No, it sounds, I'm hearing you, it sounds like we're hearing you through the computer and the phone.
All right, well, we'll try the computer again, I guess. How's that? Is it still a bit muffled?
Well, there's an echo. You maybe
Yeah.
hear you, but
I have the phone. Can you hear me on the phone?
no.
I mean, I think he's comprehensible. It's just a little fuzzy.
Oh, Mr. Victor, what are the last 4 digits of your phone number so I can bring you into the meeting?
Just hung up. Okay, let me dial in one more time. I'm sorry, gosh, it's just when you like this evening.
I don't know if I can understand.
Hmm. 1846. Is it? I'm sorry, 6518. You have me there? That's me, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
518.
You're in. Just press star 6 to unmute yourself on the phone.
Okay, good. Can you hear me now?
Yes. you
Much
sound-
better.
Your
Oh,
voice
yeah.
just dropped at
Okay.
least 2 octaves.
Thank you. I apologize for the technical detail with my camera, but I do appreciate everybody's time and patience with me. Thank you so much for this late in the evening. As I said earlier, my name is Victor Carosi. I'm a licensed professional engineer, and I'm here representing Mr. and Mrs. Terry O'Neill for their project at 730 Bradley Street. The purpose of the application this evening is to seek the permission of the Architectural Review Board to remove an existing small porch, landing, and door to facilitate interior renovations they're proposing for the home. this exterior area, I could share my screen with you to show you the project, if it's okay?
Please.
Thank you. Can you see this okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Great, great. So again, this is actually a courtesy of Google. They actually provided a great picture of, and due to some issues, I wasn't able to get the best shot. This actually did better than I was able to do. And it provides the area. If you notice with the hand signal here from my computer, this is the area that we're proposing to remove, which will include this entranceway, the doorway, and this overhang. And again, the intent of this is to facilitate interior renovations for Mr. O'Neill to make certain areas of flow within the home more convenient and better for the needs that they have currently. I have a proposed elevation, if you will. This is the current elevation. And again, the area of action is here. It's shown in the dotted area. We have also a front-facing elevation and the rear as well. So the intent is to remove these small areas, and the exception then will be a new window. We'll do replace the basement window in kind, and this will again facilitate actions within the home.
Could you flip back and forth, back to the original again, now that I see what you're...
Sure, and please don't notice the chimney. Apparently, I just realized I mirrored the chimney on the top here. Sorry about that.
You know, I have dyslexia, and when I was an architect, I did that too. Okay. Okay, so I see what you're adding a window over there where the dotted stuff is, basically.
Yes, yes.
You're removing and replacing.
Perspective to work on the kitchen will make it a little bit more functional as well. And plus inside we had an existing staircase and we're making this staircase code compliant. I also have pictures we also took of the home. Again, this is the current and existing situation. We have it from different viewpoints. This rear entrance to the basement is also going to be removed because there's a second entrance already to the basement from the exterior, and this has just become not really necessary. The applicant proposes to fill this area in, match the stone in style, match the existing windows in size, and then add back on some of these pavers here.
And I assume the shingles will match as well?
Yes, actually they are. The same type of shingles we have, they are it's called a Victorian shingle. This is actually a remnant from other work that you had done previous. And this is exactly the color and texture that will be used to match. It's a grayish color, and they're wooden shingles, and they're done in a more of a traditional style.
I'm good. I have no concerns.
You're just getting tired.
No, I think that's great. I mean, it's.
Andrew, you dropped off.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying I think it's great.
Yeah.
Apart from the chimney that keeps going back and forth, I think it's great.
You know, it is funny. All through architecture school, I would do that all the time.
But no, it's fine. It looks fine. I mean,
yeah, it's straightforward. Okay.
It's like it looks how the house should have been.
You know, as an architect, we were looking at the home as an engineer, trying to figure out how it was, because apparently many, many years ago, the home had some type of renovations, and we're still trying to figure that out, but thank you, yeah.
Okay, and are there any other comments from the board? Questions? No? Okay.
No.
And from the audience?
No one is indicating that they wish to speak, Mr. Chair.
I motion.
Okay.
I
She
second.
she is getting tired, boy. She's okay.
She
Bedtime for
warned us
Tina.
about the 10
All
o'clock
right.
thing,
Anybody
right?
opposed?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Good to go. Thank you.
Mr.
Thank
Okay.
you very much for your
Carosi,
time this late evening. Thank you, everybody.
Thank
yeah,
you.
you went from sounding like a horse chipmunk to your regular voice.
For a
thought it was like an old
Mexican,
Italian
it was
grandma.
really funny.
Good.
Okay. Will, do you really want to talk about this other stuff tonight?
At a minimum, you should discuss your calendar. The other stuff we can get into at another date.
Okay.
So, your calendar for 2021, we sent that around. We looked at the dates of, having one meeting a month or whatever. But here's the situation. The code right now says that your board is supposed to hear a case when it comes in within 18 days of it coming in. So the question becomes, how do you want us to structure your calendar for next year? And how do you want to handle the transition if there is, if we can make it happen?
Well,
Any
if the code
suggestions?
says we have to do it in 18 days and you're not changing the code, then we're back to twice a month, basically, right?
I know
Fair
I'm
enough.
the lone voice in the wilderness, but I like it twice a month. I prefer my
So do
agenda.
I, Athena, so do I.
You know what? It's a lot
That's because
more.
Athena gets tired after 10 o'clock. She's already said.
Well, it's definitely,
Well, I
it's
do
a
want
lot
to share
to
something.
hear and a lot to study prior when you have everything pushed in, condensed in like that.
And I miss you guys.
There you go. That's nice. That's sweet.
Yeah,
Even
we can't even
better.
go out for drinks. It's terrible.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I can go. I personally go either way. I don't.
Fine. It's what it is.
I'm not. Whatever people want to do, I don't care.
Well, isn't it fine? I mean, the way the schedule has fallen out the past few years seems to work fine. But does Barbara usually send that schedule out? Barbara, is that you who comes up with that?
The yearly schedule?
Yeah.
Well, it's first
It's every
Tuesday and third Thursday.
first Tuesday, third Thursday.
Okay, well, it's always the same then.
Right.
Yeah.
But the only thing,
To the calendar.
the
that
thing
we
is, we modify it if there's not a lot of if there's not submissions,
Right.
which I guess is a little bit bending the rule, because if there's one submission and we skip one, it's not 18 days, I guess.
And we
But
also modify when the calendar like links super close.
That's right.
Yeah, when
Right.
the third and the first are close together, or if there's a holiday.
Right.
Fair enough. But I want to share this with you all too, so you can see what's essentially what we're dealing with here. Give me a second. Share my screen. Can you see the screen?
I can. Yes, it has some pretty colors.
This is the land use schedule with your board meetings at once a month. So add another meeting to that, and this is what we're dealing with and trying to keep your stuff moving. This is how once a month that we, so.
Which
every
color?
month is-
Which color are we?
We're the dark brown.
Red.
So you're the
Red.
BAR, you're like the reddish color. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Red
add
color.
another meeting to that. This is what our land use schedule is.
You see the X's are the working session, or I'm sorry, the submission deadlines.
But if the code
Yeah.
says 18 days, what can you really do?
Well, if we did
I'm
the
here for
other,
right
we
now.
would be the first Tuesday as well, which looks like it's usually open. It's open, in
Right.
fact, it's always
But it
open.
would be, right. So Barbara is right. Right now, the code says 18 days. But again, with it being 18 days, it's adding another meeting to this overall schedule.
Mhm.
And it's really a lot. And,
For
we're trying
everyone.
to,
It's not a lot for us, it's for you.
Uh-huh.
yeah, but we still have to manage, we do have staff.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
Well,
Yeah.
like I said, I can go either way. I am.
I could go either way.
Yeah.
I would defer to, I mean, I guess we got to deal with the code. If you want to deal with the code, that somehow that has to be dealt with. But I mean, just in terms of, my personal life, I'm okay if you want, however everybody else wants to do it. I defer to.
But I think what would also help is, again, in dealing with the code, take the time frame out of it in terms of the 18 days. But I think in terms of dealing with the code, what would help your meetings move a lot smoother is, again, once you have certain standards that are written and that people are actually submitting things in accordance with those standards, like the pictures and so forth. And you'll be able to move through your agenda a lot quicker with
This
standards.
Bradley guy who
Regardless
just
of-
flat out refused to submit anything. That was colorful.
Right.
I follow the position of when we get to that point, I would be happy to reconsider. But for me right now, like if we had dropped, what is this, Thursday? If we had dropped the last meeting and it had been in this meeting, we wouldn't be out of here till midnight.
Well, I think as well, in addition to the requirements for the applicants, we need to talk about like deadlines for signposting and establishing deadlines for getting on the agenda in a concrete fashion as well, because it's hard to say no if they've met the requirements that we have.
Sure.
Right, and all of that stuff is what's when I sent everyone a copy of the a draft of the an updated enabling legislation and a draft of the rules and procedures. And so if you don't mind, just take a look at those. If you have any comments, provide the comments, in writing to staff, and we can incorporate those and then come back to you.
Yeah, really quick on that. It looked to me like you said it we had to get them on the agenda within 62 days of them submitting, and then they would hear 62 days after that. That seemed kind of long.
No. What the code says, so for planning board and the zoning board, and all I tried to do was match what those boards do. New York State requires that an application has to be heard within 62 days.
Yeah.
So that's basically that's what it says, is that for your board to make it consistent for all of the boards, within 62 days, an application must be heard if they are deemed complete, which you do now anyway. So that's not
Well,
anything.
now we're
new.
supposed to do it within 18 days, right?
Well, the code, the village's code says 18 days.
Yeah.
But yeah.
William, is it possible to get a red line version of these docs so we know what's changing?
Well, he did. It is redlined, except for that it's sort of everything crossed out and everything rewritten.
Right.
Oh, it is? Maybe I'm
In
not.
the enabling legislation, right. And as you know, your rules and procedures, absent having them written before, they're basically new, started from scratch.
Well,
So just
anyhow.
overall, just really quick. I know, it's getting rather late, but when you read it or you begin to peruse it, does anything jump out at you that really needs to be changed? Is staff kind of on track? We're just trying to get a gauge of where we are right now.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I can, the red line version that we have, as Bill mentioned, is like in chunks rather than per line. So for me, I've got to like sit down with this and read it in detail, which I have not done yet.
Yeah.
Unless you're able to get us over like a legit red line copy that does makes our job a little easier to review.
Well, to make your job easier to review, read the existing code, throw it out of your mind, and then read the new code, the proposed. And that's basically what it is.
Okay. Now,
So.
But what about back to the calendar issue? I mean, it doesn't seem like this 18-day thing has gotten resolved here. I'm a little confused. What are we saying there?
Well, I mean, for right now, everything is going, I mean, again, the code, absent having a code change, everything remains the same. You're going to continue to get applications that are going to be arguably substandard, and they got to be heard within 18 days. And the best that staff can do is what I was doing is what we've been doing, which is sending the applicants a technically deficient letter saying,
Yeah.
hey, listen, you need to provide X, Y, and Z, so forth and so on. And then what the applicants do is they say, well, listen, where's that in the code? And then staff has to say, well, listen, it's not in the code. It's a suggestion to make your meeting go a lot smoother. But they don't listen. So I can't enforce it. Staff can't enforce it.
And then at that point, they're also saying, well, we submitted by the deadline a week ago. They take 3 days to respond to our technical deficiency letter to say, no, thank you, but no, we're not going to submit it. And then they're on, the next week agenda or whatever it is.
Yeah. So
those things, I think for me, I give you guys the discretion of figuring out the administrative running of it. The changes to the legislation of moving from like 18 to 60, just taking off my cap as a board member and again putting on my resident cap, I don't know if it's in the best interest of the residents, right? Like if I was wanting to build something and I'm a good person and I'm doing what I'm supposed to, and I still have to wait, like there's a situation where I could have to wait 2 months, for example, if the board doesn't make quorum 1 month and that's allowed, I'd be pissed. And so I just, that's where like there are people who do the right thing.
Right.
And I would like to work in their best interest.
I think that the administrative piece is that it does have an effect on the outcome on the day of, because if we don't have that time frame or that timeline in check.
Listen, if they don't have the right materials, then good, boot them. The people who are not doing what they should be doing, I'm okay enforcing what we have or adding detail so that it is enforceable. What I hesitate at is, changing things that could really, 2 months is a long time, right? By the time you get this permit and that permit, and you're looking at a year, right? Instead of a half a year. So,
but I think you're looking at it slightly different. So the 62 days only gives you as a board some cushion to be able to hear an application. That's all. It doesn't stop the flow of things. Somebody comes in, they have their stuff, they get on the agenda for that month. That's it.
But what if for some reason there's a month where all of us, like there's time, like we've been actually a pretty present board, but in the past, there have been times where like we just made quorum, right? It was 3 people. And if you have a situation 1 month, like in February, for example, our meeting is during February break. You get a couple of parents on this board, which doesn't necessarily, we have parents, your older parents, but like you get a couple of young school age parents on the board and that meeting you're gone, right?
Maybe throwing in an emergency room physician.
Yeah.
Okay, so fair enough. So now if you have in the code that you have to meet within 18 days, what happens? You have no latitude. The board has no latitude. You boxed yourself in.
Yeah, but you got 2 meetings scheduled. So you got 2 times in the month where it can happen, where it's on people's calendars.
Fair enough. Either that's not the point of the 62 days. The 62 days is really just to provide the board with enough time for the board to be able to make a decision. And this is New York state law as it applies to the other boards. And like I said, staff is trying to go for some consistency. And what it does is it gives the board 62 days for an application to be heard. And basically what it says, as long as you as a board hear that case before the 62 days, then you're in compliance with the law as it relates to the planning board and the zoning board. Again, it's just trying to make it trying to make it consistent.
I hear you. So I totally get where you guys are coming from, and I appreciate you standing up for your staff and trying to make their life more manageable. I'll say my last piece and then leave it. I think for me, until we get to a point where there is consistency in applications and we're moving through things, there's 2 big reasons that I would not want to move to once a month. One is 10:30, and we had 2 meetings already this month, so it would be midnight. And as you can see, I become real saucy after 10 o'clock. And number 2, just from a resident standpoint, I don't know. I like as a resident having those 2 meetings a month. We're the friendly village. We're the friendly board of the friendly village. So I kind of want to keep that, that nice reputation moving.
Fair enough.
I'll leave
Fair
it.
enough.
I definitely support short meetings.
Some of them are shorter than others.
Yeah, well,
This
the
one's
2
not.
points here are, on the one hand, as Will is pointing out, technically, when we have like 2 meetings close to each other, or there's a holiday, or we don't have quorum or something, and we skipped a meeting and pushed it back, we violated the code. And he's saying that, you know, maybe we should still try to do it that way, but I mean, that's his point of view, that you know, we shouldn't, you know, we're violating the code anyway. We should have a cushion, so at least we're not acting illegally. And the other point of that is, even so, I mean, you're absolutely right. I'm very sympathetic to these homeowners having, you know, you got to go through zoning and planning, and God forbid the harbor coastal, whatever it is. And then by the time, then you got to get a building permit, the building department's backed up. I mean, you know, this is an ordeal.
Right.
And, you know, and if all you want to do is, you know, kind of remove a vestibule from the front of your house, you know, it shouldn't be so onerous. So I'm sympathetic to them too. You know, I don't know how you resolve those 2 issues, but.
Well, I think the first step, I think to resolve the issue, I think the first step is for you as a board to take a look at the draft rules and procedures and take a look at the draft enabling legislation and let us know what you think. Because bottom line is, at the end of the day, nothing's going to move forward and faster until things are standardized.
Yeah, and I'm all in favor of standardizing, and we talked about this a little bit, and I mean, I already mentioned about the before and after things and all of that. But yeah, so we'll take a look. I mean, another thing here is when it gets so late, it's hard to discuss these things at the times of the meetings. We may have to have a special meeting or something. But okay, I still don't know what the calendar is, though. Are we doing now Tuesdays and Thursdays, or for now?
Well, I mean, again, right now the code says 18 days. You have to stick to the twice a month.
Okay.
You know, it is what
All
it
right.
is.
Well, I wasn't actually at the meeting where you all decided to make it monthly anyway, so.
Well, it couldn't happen without the code.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
not my fault.
I think it was it was the last time we decided to, I didn't know we were trying it for certain, but I guess we did push over.
Yeah.
We didn't decide because I clearly wasn't quiet back then either.
All right, so what is the story? Are we meeting on the second or on the first Tuesday in December?
I think according to the code, you have to. You have applications.
Okay.
Good. Otherwise, I'll miss you guys. Come on.
Yeah. Well, I wrote an email to say I may not be here for the second Thursday. I may not be here for the Thursday, the latter Thursday in December.
The third Thursday, is that like Christmas?
Well, it's getting close.
I think it might be Hanukkah.
I'm
Well,
planning
okay.
a road trip, so I may be driving during that time frame.
The way things are going, you may not. Anyway.
I may not.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
We're not sure.
Okay, so.
All right, everyone.
Anyway, so we're on then for, what is it, December 2nd or 1st or 3rd or whatever?
First.
Pardon me?
December
December
1st.
1st for now?
December
Next
1st.
meeting.
Yeah.
Okay,
All right.
Thank
I'm
Okay.
putting it in my calendar right now.
all right.
Today's my 30th birthday, so thanks for spending.
Today?
Birthday.
Wow,
Today?
happy birthday. You got a nice
Happy
way to
birthday.
spend your birthday. I couldn't,
Oh, yeah.
couldn't think of a
sucks.
better way to spend your birthday.
I'm sad we don't still go out to have our drink.
I
Have a
know.
virtual drink for you.
Yeah.
We're celebrating 31 like it was 30, so get ready next year.
Yeah, right?
Doesn't count.
Yeah.
No,
Happy
the next
birthday.
meeting says December 1st at 7? It's now 7:30. Are we
It's seven-
changing?
No, at 7:30, isn't it?
It's at 7.
What?
What's that 7?
Yeah, take a look. 7 p.m.
What's that 7?
The next meeting. The
What-
board
where
of
does it-
future
where does
review.
it say?
7 o'clock. 7, your meeting starts at 7:30. The only thing that's probably, you looking at the website?
No, the agenda, the latest agenda. Latest agenda, last page. It says, note, the Board of Architectural Review will host its next work session on Tuesday, December
That's
1st.
the work session.
The work
So remember the meeting, so remember the last time we spoke, we have the work sessions at
Okay.
7 o'clock if necessary, and the meeting
If
itself is at
necessary.
7:30. Yeah.
Okay, so
Okay,
there will be, or we don't know if there will be a work session.
Okay.
We still don't know.
so
Okay.
7:30, can't wait. And Amber will be 30 in a month, and a week.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Yes, you too.
Okay, yes, thank you,
Okay.
same to you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye. Stay safe,
Yeah.
everyone. Stay
Yes.
safe.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
bye.
Oh, Amber, are you still there?
I can't get out.
Yeah, I think she left.
Will?
Yes.
I think Amber left, but Barbara's still there too. I guess this is more for Barbara. So if you want me to sign these by Tuesday, I guess that's what you need me to do.
Yes, please.
Okay, the ones that were not on the agenda, I obviously.
I'm gonna have to send you something.
Exactly.
Okay. I'll send
Okay.
it tomorrow.
Okay, very good.
All
All right.
right.
All right, thanks.
Good night,
Bye-bye.
All right, good night.